Hey, hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I'll be honest, I wasn't planning on streaming today, but I felt like streaming at the moment. So, hello everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing good. And there we go. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. So I am streaming a little late today, but that's because well, it's not only a late stream, it's also an unplanned stream. I wasn't planning on streaming today. I was gonna stream something tomorrow, but I felt like playing some Tyranny, and I can't play that unless I'm playing with you guys. So here we go. But tomorrow's stream, if I do it tomorrow, I don't know yet, is going to be simple because it's going to be Shadowheart. We're going to continue with our Shadowhearts playthrough. But not this. This is obviously Tyranny. Yes, we have already seen this last stream, so Sisterverse, what did I expect? Ah, you two know each other. Let's make him apologize. Yep. What's your plan now? Glare silently. Let's do our upgrade real quick. Ooh, what should we upgrade? I want to upgrade his health. Honestly, I feel like if we upgrade our health, we might stand a little better. Let's see. Use one additional weapon. I think that would be good. Or let's do that actually. There we go. Let's go back to. Let me see the damage real quick. What's this? Our accuracy. Some shield, gloves. Oh wow. Our gloves actually do a little more. Okay. Okay, let's just get into it. Let's do a.
I'm not here to make friends.
Let's get him up. Speed him up. Beat him up.
Will do.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Still a little frost.
Over there.
We're gonna do this. Disengage on them. Boom, right into the trap. Perfect. It's the bear. It's the bear. How you doing, assassin? Ooh, what happened? There we go. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? We're continuing Tyranny. I had to. I remember last time I played this, I had to reset the save a little because I fucked up on a decision that I didn't mean to fuck up on. That's why we save constantly. That's why we do something called Save scumming. Oh, there's there a quick save option? Controls. Quick save, quick save. Oh, F6. Okay, so every time we press F6, it should do a save. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. How you doing, assassin? We're back on our evil grind. I'm being evil. Evil. Okay.
Found something.
Let's get him. Yep, 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 yep.
I've got it.
Worm.
Right.
And then let's get actually Ventress to do... I mean, Verse. I don't know why I said Ventress. Question my decisions in Grounded 2. Oof, I feel that. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta keep on playing Grounded 2 with Rose whenever she's available. I love Grounded 2. I gotta keep playing it. It was so fun. Let's have her do Skewer. Let's have her take this guy out in the back. And have him use Fireball. And then back to you.
You got it.
On it.
Boom.
I'm getting too old for this.
Triple pack. Searing Calm. Yeah, I come across it, but I didn't really fight it. I kind of just ignored it.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon.
I kind of just ignored the Mantis, because the Mantis is like, Jesus Christ, you know, it's the Mantis. Push him. Push him back. Or not. We got it. Because I'm afraid to fight the Mantis with the kind of armor that we have now, and as well as... damn it. With the armor that we have on now, I'm afraid to fight the Mantis, as well as the weapons. I would prefer... Oh, wait, no! Those objects there. The Overlord Peons have arrived. We're going to redo this, so... I say... Surrender now, and I can protect the lives of your warriors. Surrender to you and what army? We have you outnumbered. We have you outnumbered. If you surrender, they'll take you to see the voices of Narad. Poisoned blade can be tucked in your boot. What are you? So we're gonna trick this guy. We're gonna trick this guy because we're smarter. We're smarter. We're better. We're faster. Stronger. Aren't you a traitorous little poop? Oh, yeah. Let's see. The venturing captain inhales deeply, taking a quick service. I'll do it if you allow my soldiers to leave. I will concede and agree to be your prisoners. Should we let his shoulders leave? Should we just kill... Should we just attack them now? Or just get this guy? I'm thinking we just keep this. We just... Straight up. Yeah, let's have him surrender. You know, Sybil told us about you. She said a Fatebinder offered mercy at Echo Call, though we were slow to believe her. I'll do this if this saves my men from dying here, but I know full well that whatever your promises and intentions, this is probably a one-way trip for me. I'm not going to beg for my life, but if you're going to show us the kinder side of Kyros, me not returning to the other captains won't make your point. Nothing personal, but I can't come back empty-handed. That said, I only need you. The rest are free to go. Say your farewells. You're coming with me. I'm feeling charitable. Make a run for it. Nothing personal. Say your farewells. You're coming with me. Each warrior in turn approaches Florian, embraces and readies to depart with a silent nod. When the warriors have said their goodbyes, they hoist their rucksacks. Boom. Okay. So now that guy is giving up. Ooh, Sigil Frostfire. Ooh, hold up. Hold up. Why is it on that? Nope. There it is. Sigil. Frost. Ooh. Cores. Fuses the cores of frost and fire. Ooh. Interesting. Interessante. So now we can do. There it is. Sigil of frost. Sigil of illusion. Sigil of frost expression. That gives us frozen grass, but if we select enhancement. Sigil of frostfire. So if we do the frost enhancement. Ah, but we need lore 45 for that one. But we could give it to him. Let me see, what's this one? Yeah, so let's give him the Frostfire Spike. Oh, he can't do it. Oh, interesting. We'll just do that, then assign it to him. We'll get rid of Fireball for him. Yeah. And then let's take out that. I would like. Oh, wait. Oh, that would be so sick. Okay, we gotta get our lore skill up. It has it's a one hit with no armor. I've just been exploring and dying a lot, so not really working with any buffs besides Parry Master. Oh, also, I think I'm going to need some assistance in grounded the infected broodmother weights. Ooh. I'm down to help you fight the infected broodmother. I would just have to reinstall the first grounded. But I'm down to help you fight that, yeah. I'm down to help you fight that. You let me know when, and I'll do it. Water's good for me. I want this with the Sigil of Frostfire. Look at this. Oh, that's so sick. But I need more lore. I need at least 60 lore. What's my lore at? My lore skill's 41. So I need 60 with my character. He needs a few more. Let's see. How do I bring my lore up? Where's my lore? Resolve, vitality, finesse, might, quickness. But how do I bring lore? Oh, here it is. So in order to bring up lore, I need to do either wits or resolve. Interesting. Well, we know what to do next time then. Alright, let's grab the stuff here. Ooh, an explosive bow. Studded iron gorgets. Ooh, plus 10 to parrying? Let's see, compared to that. So I want to keep Cleansing Charm because it makes me immune to poison. I liked Emerald Pin because I heal every 6 seconds. But that plus 10 parry is nice. I think I'll give that plus 10 parry to someone else though. So let's see. Let me see. I'll give plus 10 parry to her, as well as give her that one. Yeah, because now she has a better bow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's all coming together now. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. Yeah, can't wait. You let me know. Striding into camp at the tail end of a sprint, the Scarlet Chorus warrior begins to speak, but stumbles forward, bracing himself short of a collapse as he catches his breath. More on the way. Patrol from this morning, coming back. Well, look at that. The captain is in one piece, just as requested. The voices will be pleased. The captain looks down at his feet, so smile. You haven't won just yet. Second patrol should be returning right about now. If you can tackle the incoming patrol, me and the gang will flee. We'll see Florian is brought to the camp. Oh, and I'm going to tell you to report to the disfavored camp. The two Archons are gathering for another meeting and demand your presence. With any luck, maybe our fearless leaders are finally ready to deal with these Oathbreakers once and for all. Ooh. Well, let's get these reinforcements, man.
Trouble is afoot.
That's it. Man. Push him. And then for you, we're gonna have you do... go for that mofo. And you, I want you to use fireball on them. And then you use frozen grasp on him. Now let us watch the
You
carnage.
got it.
Yes.
I need to try a different weapon.
I better not wake up dead.
Damn it. Versus down. Yes. And that's why we gave him that. No.
Right.
Are you afraid of
Trust.
worm?
Let's get that double punch in. Pop.
I got it.
Oh, we almost lost you, Lantry. I love you, Lantry. I don't want to lose you. You're like my boy. You're my whole boy. Lantry stops his stride, darting his hands around his bandolier and belt as he softly mouths off mental inventory of his inks and quills. When at last assured his possessions are placed, he looks at you with a smile. What might I do for you? No, we're good, buddy. Indeed. I have a finite appetite for discussing myself, and I'm more than sated. Let us proceed onwards. Yes. Let us proceed, and let's camp here real quick. Do a real quick camping. Oh, ooh. Okay. I believe. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, yeah. All right, no, yeah. Let's just go back to this favorite camp. Let's go back to his favorite camp. I hope you guys can hear me well. I've been a little under the weather because of allergies. My nose has been stuffed and sneezing like crazy. Like every once in a while, once I start sneezing, I can't stop for like a good few minutes. It's like, oof. Receive a missive. Oh, hey, we received a missive. Tarkasari, may the Edict clan claim your worthless life. May the Edict claim... I can't even read. May the Edict claim your worthless life. We are not completely without our senses. We knew Kyros would issue an edict on our valley. Perhaps the Overlord has a sixth sense of humor, but I can assure... I laughed when I learned the death sentence doomed the Oathbreaker and Puppet equally. I had such low expectations for the servant of the so-called Archon of Justice. Tunon seems little more than a passive stooge that sits on a throne to legitimize the carnage and plunder of the other Archons. Fate, the face of prosperity that lets Kyros claim one thing while being another. I would have hoped you actually did serve justice, the notion, not the Archon. But your actions have said otherwise. At least I can thank you for proving my cynicism entirely warranted. If you survive this upcoming slaughter, bear witness that I, Tarkus Ari of the Vendrian Guard, do take responsibility for the actions of my crew. Should my warriors come before the court's axe, tell Tunon they were starving, desperate, and easily manipulated into a struggle that was mine, not theirs. Sell this lie as well as you would sell the lies of the Overlord. Wow. What a loser. What a loser. Fate Bite. The Archons are in the war tent. Yes. I figured. Anyways, before we do anything. Yes! Let me see your wares. Okay, let's first sell our shit. Let's sell some stuff. Let us sell this, that, and that. And that, and that, and that. As well as sell the broken armor, shattered iron sword, broken armor, broken falcons, those broken helms. I think we're good on selling broken shite. I don't think we need any of that stuff. His favorite shield would be nice, but I think we're good on that. I think we're good. We're good. We could get 2 camps. We'll get a camp supply, actually. I think that is good. Yeah, I think we're good. By the way, Assassin, I recommend this game if you like games like this. If you like games of this genre. Low-born mongrel. Don't address me as if I'm common trash. I'm third cousins with Vendry and Lyceria. That fault was given to my father, and he bequeathed it. Shut your cock scabbard! When you bent your knee to the voices of Narat, you forfeited all claims to your garbage ancestry. Now drop it before I kick your... The disfavored warrior turns his head as you approach, and you hear a sudden shift in his tone. Just drop it. There are plenty of sticks around here. Isn't the menacingly shaped stick the weapon of choice in the chorus? But it's my blade. You'd let me wade in unarmed for a smug little laugh? Is this how you honor your allies? Well, it's not a real-time strategy. It's a character RPG. CRPG. You play as the bad guys, pretty much. You work for the bad guys. You are the kind of like adjudicator, or kind of, you're more of you're the fate binder, who is basically an agent of the Archon of Justice, who works under the Overlord Kyros. The Archon of Justice is very obsessed with justice and stuff, and you're kind of like his agent. You're important. And the 2 major factions right now that are within your kind of like giant faction of Kyros' army is the Scarlet Chorus and the Disfavored. The Scarlet Chorus are more chaotic evil, while Disfavored is more like lawful evil, and they tend to be more like military-esque, while Scarlet Chorus is very like gang-like-esque. It's very interesting stuff. I suggest watching the VODs because this is a great game, very good game. Let's step closer and listen in. You assembled on a field of battle across from us. Nobody told you to bring your ever so important family heirloom blade to the party. It's mine now. Walk away. And just let you... The choirman's rage comes to a sudden halt as his attention towards to you. A look of recognition comes over his face, and he blinks up a storm, tripping over his words. I recognize this one. The Fatebinder, right? They said Tunon was going to send one of the court folk. Will you lend a hand against this northern piss bucket? No offense. Yeah, you know what? Let's help out. What seems to be the problem? This louse here was, up until recently, our enemy. He raised his folks against us. I knocked him on his ass and helped myself to that weapon of his, a noble piece that he clearly doesn't deserve to wield. And I was offered a chance to make amends by serving Kyros as a vassal to the voices of Narat. Why am I still being treated like the enemy when I'm on your side? You're lucky to be alive. Lucky that freak Archon gives you South Knobs a second chance at life, when we ought to kill or geld every last one of you. The disfavored warrior clutches his face, and a long sigh can be heard from under his helmet. Fatebinder, we're clearly at an impasse, and I doubt he'll give me the satisfaction of striking first. I will abide by your decision, even if I disagree, so long as this fool here will agree as well. There's a little civility, if he's willing. So am I. Let's see. Who should we give the folks to? Should we say... You know, let's have everyone talk. Let's see. Let's have the disfavored soldier explain. For the record now, explain your side situation. The warrior clears his throat before speaking in a measured, respectful tone. Well, Lord Binder, I first encountered this man some weeks ago on patrol. He was a part of a Vendrian guard hunting party. He stood his ground, maybe even took a swing at me. I do remember thumping him pretty squarely on the forehead with my pommel. I thought to myself, nice folks, and so I grabbed my trophy after the battle. It was a rousing scuffle, but hardly worth an epic. I didn't even think much of it until yesterday, until when this chap shows up asking for his folks back. I get he's sore about losing his family blade, but that's what happens when you raise your fist against Kyros. We don't give back your thumb and fingers. Alright. Explain in full your side of the situation. I came around to following the Overlord I came around to following the Overlord but recently. The choirman looks around the camp, his face turning pale, and I guess I'm just learning how things work here. Anyway, this guy here, he bested me in battle. No bones about it. Didn't kill me, though. I suppose you could have guessed as much. Kindness itself. Go on, recruit. Oh, that was first speaking. Whoops. Anyway, I wake up next to some of my countrymen, and they put us through decimation rite. I was lucky enough to grab one of the 9 daggers tossed into the area. He pauses to hold back a wretch, his mouth twisting and corners of his eyes. So I survive, right? And I'm barely cleaning the blood off me when I'm told that my next task is to secure a proper weapon. The course doesn't exactly hand them out. So I walk to the disfavored camp thinking they're supposed to be allies and maybe can help. Then I see this guy showing off my folks and, well, it's family heirloom. It's a family heirloom. I was told to get a proper weapon, and it doesn't get more proper than a folks that's been in my family for generations. Either of you anything further to add? I respect that this man found Kyros, but he raised that folks against us as an enemy. I know him. I know I'm in the right here. Shit, I don't know. I just know if I had 2 swords, I'd lend one to an ally. It seems like how allies should work, right? What do we think? Should we tell the disfavored soldier to give the folks back? Because it is a family heirloom. It is indeed a family heirloom, and he did join us now. He is now part of the Kyros' army. And they're allies within the army, technically. But... Ooh, I don't know. Oh. Because, like, I'm thinking about it. And... I think we should give him the sword. Because it's his. It belongs to him. And it's only fair. You know, but granted, he did get bested in combat. And I believe, like, you keep what you win, you know? Like, you keep what you kill type stuff, right? Man, I don't know. I'm drinking water. Good water. It's a hard decision. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, you know what? I've reached my decision. Go ahead. I'll abide by your decree. The Falks belong to an Oathbreaker, not the chorus warrior we see today. I judge it a war trophy. Graven Ash insists on proper rationing. Stockpiling bronze you won't wield is misuse of the resources, and no way to treat an ally. Return the Folks. The Folks is a proper trophy, but honor demands you make a good faith effort to assist an ally. If you will not return the Folks, you must give him a proper alternative. The Folks is an artifact of a conquered people. I claim it for the court. Honestly, I think number 3 is the best thing, because yes, it is a proper trophy, but honor demands that you make a good faith effort to assist an ally. So if you won't return the sword, at least give him a good alternative. The Scarlet Chorus warrior nods silently in his face. A stiff scowl. Not unreasonable. What will it be? So, I'm to give him a weapon. The warrior's posture grows tense and he's silent for a long moment. Right. I get it. Compromise. So, the warrior looks expensive. Like you'd ever be caught dead wielding tears forged bronze? Like, man up and act like a proper ally. Give the recruit a half-decent weapon. Glare silently. Let's just glare. Okay. I might have a woodcutter's axe that I pulled from an Oathbreaker's hovel. The coarse scum is welcome to it. Happy now. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we did it. Let us see our standing with the chorus. So we have good favor with the chorus. And really good favor with disfavored, which is good. The Venturing Guard are not as good with them. Lantry, good loyalty. We at least got up to 1 loyalty, which is good. Barrack is 1. Versus up to 4. Damn, Verse is very loyal. What the fuck did I do to... Damn, Verse. Alright, girl. Yeah. Ebb. Oh, yeah. I remember... Ebb is a companion, but I met her once. She's part of the Vendrian Guard. School of Tides. But she has 1 loyalty on us. Tunon. You know, he's pleased by us. Gravinash, he really likes us. 4, which is good. Good. Voices of Nara doesn't like us that much, but that's cool. It's because, like, we kind of, like, stood up to him. Isotanis. It warms my heart to arm our soldiers, and only the finest. I'd like to see your wares. I already have this helm, which I like more. I have the stone shield armor, the stone shield gloves. Nothing else really that I need. So, but I'm curious. Lantry. Can I? Ooh, wait. Yeah. So now Lantry has 2 things. Nice. Perfect. Doesn't really have a skill in dual wield, but I would prefer if he has 2 weapons. Sevius. Alright, let's go into the war tent. War tent. You don't give these oathbreakers enough credit. Even beasts can begin to see patterns in your simpleton strategy. If there's any pattern to my strategies, it's one of relentless victory. The Tewsmen excel except deception, blah blah blah. But who's more deceitful than your second Karen? As wasn't he an expert? Blah 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 blah. Bullshit. A standing pyramid. The Archon of Stone was punished for his actions. If you want to talk guilt by association, we have to hold you accountable for the collective crimes of the chorus. And any disfavored warrior can take 10 of these helpful fruit knife properly armed. It's not even fair. Yes, interesting. They're always arguing every time I see them.
Trust your rabble not to turn at this last moment. How many of your conscripts have family bonds to the Vendrian Guard? It is decided. The disfavored will take the vanguard of the assault. It is the only way to assure success before the edict comes to pass.
Oh, you're so young. We can forgive you for being stupid. Without your Archon of Stone to bring down those walls, you're out of your element. Only the chorus has the numbers required to swarm the walls from all sides. We will lead the vanguard of this battle.
They're arguing like children again.
The best the chorus could accomplish would be leaving a ramp-shaped pile of corpses propped up against the walls for my warriors to use. Their fortifications are not a concern. Even understaffed, my Earthshakers could breach the masonry in short order.
Right.
Another brilliant idea. Cairn's cult is, we're sure, every bit as trustworthy and sane as the late Archon of Stone himself. You did notice the spire at the center of the citadel? Hard to miss it, being only the tallest thing on the horizon and such. Certainly your Earth mages won't do anything stupid like, say, breaking the spire's foundation. What could possibly go wrong?
The voices of Narat lazily twirls his scepters. You hear the voices in your head. We love saying that name. Cairn. Just to watch him squirm. Graven Ass had so much hair back before he met us.
I trust them more than I trust your circus of rapists, sell swords, and turncoat tearsmen.
Archon Ash turns his head and upon seeing you in the tent, relaxes his
Tunon's
posture.
Fatebinder has arrived.
Done bickering. I was victorious in Echo Crossing and Tripinet Wilderness despite the constant ineptitude of the cause. My missions in Echo Crossing and Tripinet Wilderness were successful with little help from the disfavored. Our operations in Echo Crossing and Tripinet Wilderness were successful. Why aren't you two marching toward Ascension Hall?
Nothing would please us more than to be done with this wretched valley. Perhaps if we had more support from the disfavored and from the court.
Now that we are all assembled, I want reports. The Scarlet Chorus was going to resolve the Oathbreaker presence in the Outer Valley. What became of that?
Yes, what did become of that? We should know already, yet we do not. If we are not mistaken, the Fatebinder played a pivotal role in this operation. Fifth Eye, shed light on this baffling question.
The Oathbreaker raiders were broken, and most importantly, their captain was taken, and he has told us. The Archon of Whispers. The Archon of Secrets grips his helmet as a chittering percussion of whispers pour forth.
Nothing. Curse you, motherless fucks! What have you brought but fire and
The voices and rot slaps the forehead portion of his mask, and for a moment the emerald flames within his robes dim.
Oh, suffering doesn't really capture the nuance of what we've done. Apologies. We've been savoring this one's defiance. We know much of their inner workings, their desperate allies, their foolish hopes. This is our battle to lose.
Why I am on equal footing with Kyros' clown, I will never understand. So, Fatebinder, you would deem this mission successful?
The Oathbreakers were scattered, and I took the captain alive as requested. There's not much of. Pelox Florin was a boastful leader from an influential family. His recruitment will demoralize the enemy. Pelox Florin was renowned for skill at arms. It would have been better to best him in battle. Send a stronger message. Yeah, there's not much to add.
Iron Marshal, I understand we've established a foothold across the Mittani. Report.
Securing the Mittani was a gruesome affair. An agent of the School of Tide still lives, and the river was turned against us despite our losses. The day ended in success at Echo Call Crossing, though victory came at a great cost. When it came to secure the nearby Echo Call village, there was a distressing discovery. The villagers had been stashing iron weaponry, no doubt stolen from our supply lines. Commander Antio wished to burn the village, but the chorus disagreed, and the Fatebinder backed their claim. One detail my reports have failed to explain, the fate of the enemy captain. She seems to have escaped during the fighting at Echo Call village. All reports indicate that Fatebinder was first in the village. She turns to you, head tilted to the side. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what became of the enemy leader? I wounded her, but she fled. Securing the village was the goal, so I did not give chase. You mean Mittani Silva? I killed her. Who told you otherwise? Antio, bitter quip. I let her go. I wounded her, but she fled.
And Blood and Mark never taught you how to track a wounded criminal? You are right. Securing a foothold across the river was the goal. Still, your lack of follow-through is
Kyros' Day of Swords approaches, and our allies in the disfavored and the court refuse to work with us. There is clearly only one reason for this. Graven Ash and Tunon have allied against us. You conspire to rob us of our deserved glory.
Emerald-colored trails appear in the air as the Archon madly swings his scepter, gesticulating with growing rage. You hear the voices in it. We see how it really is. You're all against us. If you two are unwilling to work together as Fatebinder of Tunon, I will order you to do so. Conspiracy. You're the one that has acted the fool the whole time. Enough bickering. If you two are unwilling to work together as Fatebinder of Tunon, I will order you to do so.
With whom do you stand?
The voices in Rot Mask tilts sideways as he lurches forward, waggling something. Now it's not the time for compromise. One of us will have the honor of completing this glorious conquest. We know you will choose wisely. The tent grows quiet. You will march on the Vendrian Well Citadel together or not at all. The disfavored will lead. The Scarlet Chorus will lead. I don't know, because like...
You test my patience, Fatebinder. We did not ask for a weak compromise that leaves all parties unsatisfied.
Oh my God.
Whom do you support? Are you going to let the Scarlet Chorus traitors have their way? Or will you stand by Kyros' true disciples, the disfavored?
Y'all need to stop bickering like children and just fucking work together for Kyros' sake. But fine, fuck it. Disfavored.
You honor us, as I knew you would. You have made the right choice. The disfavored have stood at the forefront of battle since the first days of the war. And now, we have the honor of winning this final battle.
Graven Ash salutes you, his fist striking his breastplate with a thunderous clatter.
Our beloved chorus! We have too many lives to protect. We can't allow your foolish decision to destroy us all!
A brilliant emerald green radiates from the Archon, and the chatter of a busy marketplace seems to fill the tent. The scepter he normally holds as a playful prop is now clutched as a bludgeon ready to strike. No, we did not work so hard, only to be denied our rightful glory in the end. You will die with the disfavored.
You would dare harm me and our guest from the court?
The air crackles with electricity as Graven Ash lifts his maul to strike. So for this playthrough, we're probably going to lean heavily with the disfavored. But I might do another playthrough on my own at some point to heavily favor Scarlet Chorus, because I do like the Scarlet Chorus. You rouse to consciousness to the sight of Graven Ash swatting his hand towards the fitting green mist where the voices around once stood moments ago. We will have to take Ascension Hall without the chorus's help. Are you sure you want to go to war against... I saw you step in front of me. Thank you.
Just old soldier reflexes. Couldn't be sure if it was trying a simple illusion or a bolt of fire. Either way, needed to be sure my guest didn't perish in my war tent. Wouldn't be able to live that one down.
Are you sure you wish to go to war against the
What
chorus?
other choice am I given? It is clear the voices of Narat would endanger all of us out of vanity. Besides, we all know when this war is over, someone must rule and protect the Tears. So I will start protecting the Tears from the depravity of the Scarlet Chorus.
We will have to take Ascension Hall without the
Yes.
chorus's help.
And instead of having false allies on our side, at least we can march on the Citadel knowing full well who is friend and foe. It goes without saying. The disfavored needs you now for this glorious battle. Please speak with the Iron Marshal. She will give you the specifics of our plan. The
Farewell.
Archon of Secrets left behind one of his spies. Perhaps we should send her back to her master.
Graven Ash narrows his eyes and points a finger at Verse. Barrick's armor makes a discordant sound of iron, bending under pressure. Everyone assembled in the room looks at him.
Something to say, Barrick?
Ash passes his stone shield a confused look.
Nothing at present, Archon. Forgive the interruption.
I'm surprised you're still here. Verse is with me.
You would harbor the Archon's henchmen in your company? This is aiding and abetting the voices of Narat. I cannot stand for it.
Maybe I want the voices to think I'm being carefully observed.
The voices of Narat knows better. Of that much I can assure you. Whatever deceitful ploy you have in mind, he can think lifetimes ahead of it. You are playing a dangerous game, Binder. If you wish to hold a venomous serpent so close, I will allow you your own self-destruction. Now leave me. When you are ready to join the assault, speak to the Iron Marshal.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let him kill Verse. She my homegirl. She my homie. I'm just gonna... Yoink.
Sorry, can't.
Alright, let's talk to Verse.
At your service, Fatebinder. What do you need?
Cool. Barrick?
You look as if you have something on your mind. What can I do for you?
Anything? Nope, we're good. Alright, cool. Alright, we're good.
I got it.
The time is upon us. Iron Marshal Erenios nods at you with a serene smile. We march on Vendrian's well to show the tears in the price of insurrection. She looks in either direction, surveying the movement of ironclad warriors readying for battle. Kyros' edict will soon come to bear, and we should move at once. Fatebinder, if you're willing, I could use your assistance. We are a tight-knit band, and while we are not outclassed, we are outnumbered. Will you march in battle with us? I'll join you for this battle, but I'm not amused by this little fight between armies. What of the Scarlet Chorus? Will you ask me to fight them as well? I'll do, but I'm not amused between this whole fight. The Overlord brings peace. This sort of disorder runs against the harmony of Kyros gives us. We will answer for our actions in due time, but for now, our survival hinges on taking Ascension out. Killing the Scarlet Chorus is self-defense by any measure. Our forces are assembling as we speak. We will meet you at the Citadel. Graven Ash protects. Ugh. My nose is just like crazy. Oh, did I actually type it correctly? I said Ashen protects. Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. Graven Ash protects. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so let's go to the Vendrian's Well. It's time. Oh, look at that. And we had 5 days left to complete this little mini campaign, you know, this little battle. Look at that. I do wonder what happens if you actually
Take a look at that iron
never
wall
complete
of
it.
woman. Must be the Iron Marshal.
There's the Iron Marshal. Fatebinder, come this way! The Iron Marshal welcomes you with a clattering salute. Kra kra. The enemy left only a pittance of soldiers to our slow advance. The majority of their warriors are holed up within the Citadel. No use trying to lure them out. We have to bring the fight inside. That wall, she points north, is where the Earthshakers are focusing their magic. They cannot afford to be imprecise with their tremor sigils, and the spire so close, and we will need to contend with the defenders' mages if we're to crack the perimeter. Want me to cause generalized trouble, or did you have plans for me? The enemy sages are working on some sort of protective magic that's keeping the wall held together. I need you to silence this resistance. Head east and secure a way over the wall. My troops aren't dressed for scaling. Kill the sages, the Earthshakers will clear the way, and we'll meet you inside. Now go, with the glory of Kyros. Alright, yeah, I got you.
Will do.
Another battle? I'm starting to think we're really making friends.
For the Queen! Maybe you won't enjoy this as much as I
Yeah, let's help our guys. Yeah. Yeah.
On it.
Push his ass. Pop. Alright, Ooh. Not bad, actually. Let me see. Hold up. The same amount of armor, but we get more disengagement defense. Yeah. Okay, we'll give her. We'll give her these. Nobleman's sandals. We can just put in our stash. Okay, let's look at our missive. The Dawn of Ascension. Grimsley, the Archons informed me that the recapture of the Citadel from Vendrian insurrection continues apace. That they wrote me separately of the divergent tactical intentions engenders no small concern, but I trust now in your efforts. May your good judgment see you through the coming confrontation with glory and success. Express concern. Archon Tunon, your bird finds me on the road to conflict and bloodshed, and I cannot but wonder at the wisdom of the decision and acts that have brought us to this point. I would not question the Overlord's will, yet I find myself divided. If this edict comes to pass, and I never see your court again, I hope you remember the agreements that we forged when you swore me into your service. Wait. No, did I send? Oh no, I didn't mean to send. Oh, rip. Damn, okay, whatever, okay. I hope that doesn't fuck us over.
Spotted something.
Yoink. Okay, let's go to the other side, actually. Let's go this side.
Send them at me in blaze.
We're gonna do death from above.
All right, let's do this.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Get me out of here!
Fireball. We're gonna fireball them. Fireball!
Take me if you can.
Damn my eyes!
Better, faster, and stronger.
Can't do that.
Tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Get his butt. Get his butt. Get his butt.
That wasn't so hard.
Alright.
On it.
We can do a quick little camp. Rest for 1 second. Boom. Alright, let us. So they leveled up. Let's give her more agility. Or whatever that is. What is that? Yeah, quickness. He leveled up. Let's give him more resolve. Actually, I want to give him more strength. Yeah. The Lantry will give him more resolve. Boom. Alright, so Lantry, let's give him. I already have that. Let's do that. Get that. Gifted healer. So, improves his control life skills. For you. That. Ventress for verse, let's go. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. Boom. Alright. Let's climb up. Climb the wall.
Sorry, can't.
Oh. Okay, I guess we just go this way.
Your days end here.
Yeah.
Come and face my iron.
Right. I got it. I got it.
Can't take much more of this.
Right. On it. I got it.
Get his ass.
Will do. I'm not dead yet.
Boom.
Right.
Alright. Let's get down, get down. Oh. Get a butt.
Right. Will do.
This isn't working.
Fury of blows. Alright, let's go here. Grab the fruits. Let's have him heal up. Alright. Now let us attack.
More tallies to the body count.
Sure. Yep. Just wanted to be sure. Oh boy, we got this.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah. Now they can get on through. Yeah. Let's move it. Let's move it in. Yeah, go, 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 go.
Is that all? I
Yoink.
got this.
Gotta get everything. We got enemies there, but we could ignore them. Loink. With each level your character gains, you increase one attribute. Wow. There's the Scarlet Chorus. Damn! Good shit though. I don't know, good shit. They've breached the gate. The chorus has breached the gate. Fall back. Fall back. Oh, they're gonna fight now. I can just feel it. I can feel it in my balls. Stand aside. Ascension Hall is ours alone for the taking. Withdraw at once before you feel the weight of the 1,000 coarse blades and bludgeons. No sooner would a family of maggots beat a pack of wolves. This favorite commander beckons the Scarlet Chorus forward. Come, I'll take you 5 at a time just to deal with them. So, about the edict. Deal with them. I'll take Ascension Hall. A sound plan. Good hunting, my friend.
Right.
Just gonna grab that. They're here. They've reached the perimeter. They're the keep. Okay, well, I was just gonna go grab this real quick. Ooh, topaz. I'll take it.
Will do.
Hey, what's over here? Yoink. Alright. Alright.
Heads up, we have company.
Can't let him hit our healer. Protect the healer.
Right. On it.
No, our healer.
Let's do it, you and me.
Flawless.
We can do this.
Comet.
Damn. They messed
Sorry,
up Lantry.
can't.
Lantry, buddy, heal yourself. And use restoring touch on her. Fair low healing. Let me see. You're wounded. Alright, let's do a quick rest.
Right.
There we go. The fire mess hall still burns. Plates and silverware line the tables. This room has been seen for combat. Ooh. Alright, let's see. Can we...
I'll be your shadow.
Ooh, you can't see us. Ooh.
Sorry, can't.
Oh my god, can we actually get the... Go, go,
Do
go,
you
go.
have eyes on
Yeah,
this?
yeah!
Rusted solid.
Will do.
Bleed out, you little shit.
Grovel before me.
One per counter. Interesting. Alright, well, let's see what we got here. Ooh. Interesting. I keep pressing the tilde key when I mean to press tab. So it always brings up the fucking...
Heads up, we have company.
Oh. Get that range. Hold up.
Right.
Protect the Lantry. Uh-oh.
I got it.
Protect him.
How could I miss?
Get his head. Searing Paul. Alright. What's that? Read scroll. Ooh, we got a new sigil. Awesome. Ooh, another scroll. Okay. Well, let's see that, let's see. Oh, it's a sigil of strength. Oh, we already have that sigil. Oh, man. We could always sell it.
Can't do that.
We sell it. Yoink. Get his ass.
Wait my signal.
I always have this much blood.
heal her again.
Ready? Sorry about that.
Got dark.
Get his
Recall the
ass.
sun.
Barrick! Get this motherfucker.
I will aid you.
You know what, let's bring our... I want our lore to go up, but... Yeah, let's bring our mark. Save. And then what we're gonna do is... do that. That way we get unarmed mastery 2, moderately increases damage with unarmed attacks, and allows basic attacks to strike multiple times. That's perfect. Alright. And then let's just fucking do this to this guy.
Good as new. Or at least newish.
I never have.
Lantry! Quick! Heal me. Then we'll have him do striking iron on him. Have Verse here go with... Let's have her heal actually.
I will aid you.
And then have her do this to that guy.
Good work. Will do.
Verse. Why don't... Yes. Then have Barrick here do this, and then Lantry can give Titan's Touch
At
to
once.
Grim.
Sorry about that.
Bleed out, you little shit.
Yes! Oh my god, we could have died. I legit thought we would die there. Alright.
I got it.
What's over here? We got out. Alright. Alright, let's do a quick rest. That way everyone's healed up. Let's get in. So I don't know if we're gonna fight a boss or what, you know. Hello, Ventrian God. So, you are the vanguard of Kyros' conquest. Not as tall as I imagined, but we can't all choose our executioners. Already word of our defiance spreads throughout the lands. You're 7 kinds of stupid if you think our war ends here. Before you stands Captain Tarkus Ari, de facto leader of the dwindling Venturian Guard. Short, sunburned, and agitated, and even when standing still, her body is compact. Her body is a compact sculpture of muscle and bone, and her face is short on symmetry thanks to the scars and dents of a dozen brushes with death. I can't speak. I can't read the crap. Though your lives will certainly end here in Ascension Hall. She chortles, pointing upward to the ceiling, its stone arches somehow supporting its massive weight of the spire overhead. Consider yourself fortunate. Some of the finest rulers of Apex met death by duel in this hallowed hall. There's no finer place to settle an intricable feud. Sisters, brothers, Ari looks back at her cadre of soldiers with solemn nod. It has been a privilege to lead and an honor to share in your final days. Taking a deep breath, she turns to you. What did you hope to gain? Seems your usurping amounted to nothing but dead kinsmen. You had so many chances to surrender. I have orders to make this excruciatingly slow. I'm but the first of your problems. The chorus and disfavored are right behind me, and the one thing they have in common is hatred of you. Let's brandish our weapon menacingly, which is literally our fists. You had so many chances to surrender. I have orders to make this excruciatingly slow. You underestimate our resolve, Fatebinder. The captain looks to her shoulders for a reassuring glance, but is met with nervous eyes and shuffling of feet. A moment of silence is broken as one of the oathbreakers dashes for the exit. Ha! One less oathbreaker. Coward! No matter, one soldier will make no difference. Sisters, brothers, it has been a privilege and honor. What did you hope to gain from your rebellion? Nothing we haven't already gained. Our pride, our dignity, these things you can never take from us. The Vendrian Guard could never stand against all of Kyros' forces, but we can teach others to resist, and maybe you'll run out of soldiers before we run out of stubbornness. But I doubt it. You already use Kyros' currency, speak the language. Military control is a formality. But that's just sophistry. Kyros speaks our language, not the other way around. Besides, that proves nothing other than common history. But the Fatebinder is saying that Kyros is not just one enemy, but a massive force that can reach you in times of peace. Armies and edicts are just two of the bloodier ways Kyros can control you. Seems your uprising amounted to nothing but dead kinsmen. And what did taking Vendriel's well cost you? How many disfavored corpses rust in the valley? How many choirmen fell to our blades? How goes the endless battle of the Blade Grave while you deal with us here? Ari laughs, winces, and she clutches her side. And tell me, are the Archons unified in victory? Do the armies bond in camaraderie over our deaths? Our stand here is the first of your problems. You've traded your kinsmen to slow the inevitable. Nothing more. We demonstrated that the armies of Kyros could be shamed by stubborn peasants. The Overlord's empire is vast, his armies numerous, his magic unstoppable, yet he cannot destroy our fighting spirit. Hardly the show of force I'd expect from a truly fearsome Overlord. Hope that argument keeps you warm in the emptiness of the void, guardsman. Any last words? Yes. Tell the voices in Nara we are most thankful for his aid. We would not have made it this far without his support. Oh, that motherfucker.
Look at that, future course.
Alright, okay. Barrick. We're gonna have him do that. We're gonna have you go ahead and take care of that guy. And you also freeze that guy. And then I'm gonna have you do this.
You got it.
Take me if you can.
I got it.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
handrails. Up these shit boggin.
On my command.
And let's get that. Bop. Dead. That's all the stuff for this bitch.
On it. Await my signal. Flawless.
Flawless. You worthless gnats! We may die, but the others will follow our example. Mark my words. You've bested their leadership. Most impressive. Remind me to never underestimate your skills, Fatebinder. Now you arrive. I shed blood to take the Ascension Hall, this place, this spire, the valley. It's mine. All of you be gone. This choice betrays your allies, turning them against you. You will abandon your current faction-based quests and instead forge an independent path through the tiers. Ooh, interesting. So you can betray both of them and be more independent, or you can... That's interesting. I kind of like that. So there's like 3 types of playthroughs you can do. You can do a full disfavored playthrough, a full independent playthrough, and a full Scarlet Chorus playthrough. Interesting. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I like that a lot. I fuck with it. I'm sure your Archon will be pleased that I managed to do the job for you. I'm honored to have a hand in the glory. And your help was pivotal. Graven Ash will soon be hearing an earful about your skill and courage. The party has received Outbreak. Ooh. The clatter and madness of combat has finally ceased. Ascension Hall is, for a moment, tranquil. Became favor with the disfavored. You have lost favor with Fendering Guard. You've gained favor with Scarlet Course. May pox take your children! Ari slumps to a crouch, her body trembling from injury and fatigue. With those words of defeat, the burning hum you've heard in your head for days on end tapers off into nothing. Your mind returns to a state of quiet you have not felt since you proclaimed the edict upon Ventry as well. I lay claim to Ascension Hall. Let us be free of this edict. You feel a tug in your chest as a warm energy begins to form around you. Before you know it, you feel as if you are lighter than air. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Whoa. Whoa, where are we? Oh, is this the top of the spire? You blink away at the last luminescent trails of your field of vision. The masonry of Ascension Hall is replaced with a wide open space in every direction, save for the slab of ancient stone beneath your feet. High winds shove you, pushing you off balance. The air is cool and thin, unsatisfying to your lungs. Is this? Lantry looks out to the horizon, wide-eyed. Yes, this must be the mountain spire. When was the last time? Lantry's eyes look down over the edge, dumbstruck by the vertical plunge. Lantry backs away from the edge. I may need to retch. This is certainly a change. The wind ruffles the feathers in her hair, and Verse quickly smooths them down. A damn cold change. Oof. Think I could land on my feet if I jumped? Not that it would matter for long. Kyros, be merciful. What now? Beric spins around on his feet, looking about, trying to take in as much as he can through the narrow vision of his helmet. Every way you look, mountains rise up along a distant horizon. The rivers and forests below bring the mind maps of Vendrian's well, and you quickly trace the Matani, the Aranev, and the numerous waterways of the region. Higher than you imagined that this is indeed the pinnacle of the spire at Vendrian's well. How did we get all the way up here? Ari strains to stand up, clutching to her side. Another question. How in the name of Graven Ash do we get down? The Iron Marshal walks to the edge, trembling half a pace as she peers downward. The warriors below must be sensing that the edict has ended. We should be down there, by their side. The edict is gone and we're still standing? If I were a conscript down there, I'd run for it. Thank God, thank my good fortune. First, draws herself up and takes a welcome breath. She glances down at the with less certainty. Send word to Graven Ash that we're successful. I hereby claim this place. This is now an extension of Tunan's court, and all combatants must leave. This is no longer strictly a military concern. We need to take a breath and sift through what just happened. You would claim this place for Tunan? That would actually be a strategic advantage for this. That would actually be a strategic advantage for this favorite. We can't spare the soldiers to garrison this place, yet we'd like to deny the Corps every foothold possible. I will happily counsel Graven Ash to support this claim. Send word to Graven Ash that we are successful. That was a worthy battle. Not since stalwart have I seen such courage, such determination. Oh, but the siege needed you spans ago. Agreed, and I would be honored to deliver your auspicious message in person, but I think the blast of magic from the spire and the edict's end should have been clear to everyone. But Graven Ash will want to know you're safe. Go through that portal and report to Graven Ash. Then return with me to me if any news. We hand her a note. The parchment will survive the impact. I had my reservations about getting involved with you, Fate Miner, but this puts them all to rest. I couldn't be more pleased to stand at your side right now. What? You bloodthirsty fuck! Write your declaration of control. To entry. Take a dictation, please. If you so require it, I'll spare you the comment about wishing my work made an impact. A quill appears in one hand, parchment in the other, and Lantry writes in long, flowing hand your declaration of control. Once done, he hands you the parchment with a stern look. This is barbaric. The Vendrian Guard have lost enough for one day. Tuck the note in Ari's gauntlet, push her off the edge. So we're just gonna... No, please! Weakened from injury and fatigue, Ari struggles against your grip, but to no avail. You drag her, thrashing and buckling, to the edge of the spire. You slide your note into the sleeve of her gauntlet, and give the Oathbreaker a swift kick. For several seconds you hear her screaming. Eventually the sound fades away, drowned out by the whipping winds. This is Sparta! This is Kyros! No doubt I'm the very definition of the enemy of an overlord. I didn't just resist, I led others into resistance. So I now know what's about to happen, but I know when I've met my match, and like most folk, I'll do whatever it takes to live. If you will show me mercy, I will pledge my life to you, good Fatebinder. I know I'm an Oathbreaker, so my word isn't what it used to be, but I promise if you spare me. Serve me well, and all can be forgiven. If you will have my fealty, it is yours. I, Ebb of the Tidecasters, do hereby pledge my life and loyalty to you, Grimsley. I will serve and obey so long as you have need or want of my skills. Hey, we have Ebb. Yeah. I like this group, though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ebb. I mean, actually... Let me see something. But no, I think I'm good. I don't want to put her in my party at the moment because I kind of like this core party. Barrick, Lantry, and Verse. Although, it would be interesting to have Ebb in there, but... It sucks I can only have a party of 4.
Be seeing you, Fatebinder.
I'll tack homeward. See you there. No doubt this'll prove interesting. I'll tack homeward. See you there.
Here to serve.
No, I'd rather have Barrick in as well as with Lantry, because Lantry's my healer. Barrick's kind of like my tank, and Versus my roguish character, and I'm just the monk. Although Ebb might be good, I don't want to party at the moment, so nope. No speaking, okay. Vendrian's well has fallen. For the second time since the conquest began, Kyros' army takes the citadel from its defenders. With your help, the Vendrian Guard rebellion has been crushed. You claimed Ascension Hall with your disfavored allies, satisfying the terms of Kyros' baleful edict. You and the forces of Kyros are free from the Overlord's death sentence. With the threat of execution no longer looming overhead, the Overlord's armies turned their attention away from the citadel and toward each other. Tensions that flared over the long siege reached an explosive crescendo as the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus armies clashed iron and bronze in a hasty, disorganized battle. As his forces were cut down, the voices of Narat and his officers escaped to the Stone Sea, leaving the conscript army to carry on their battle against the disfavored. In the aftermath, the disfavored broke camp and withdrew to their fortress in the Blade Grave, there to regroup and prepare for the extended campaign against the Scarlet Chorus. Having taken Vendrian's well for yourself, Archon Graven Ash recognized your lawful claim to rule and occupy the spire. As days passed, the wounded and injured were nursed to health. You explored your strange bastion and planned your next steps with careful deliberation. As word spreads that the Scarlet Chorus and disfavor turned on each other, factions once resolved to bend the knee are inspired instead to continue fighting. The Archon's feud has heralded the collapse of Kyros' offensive. Tunon, the Archon of Justice, observes the chaos and discord spreading across the land. The Archon summons his Fatebinder to return to the court at the Bastard City and report on his actions in Vendrian's well. A civil war, what a shame that it descended into this. Archon Ash will want to meet and discuss the next steps. Best that you regroup in Ironhearth. Gather your strength and regroup, but don't leave the Archon waiting. Send Ash my regards. The general has done much for me, and I wish he was here to see this. I'll join the Archon at Ironhearth after I speak with Tudon. That would be best. She shakes her head and looks out on the spire of the first. It's not enough that we're fighting two wars. Now we have this puzzle. Now we have this to puzzle through. I don't envy your position. See you at Ironhearth. Ironhearth. Hearth. The dizzying energy from the spire falters. Whatever force awoke spire resides here, they don't persist. That's odd. There was a portal here a moment ago, but it seems to have vanished. Oh, let's look around for a solution. The humming of the Kyros sculpture pulses and builds in volume as it draws your attention. Oh, Lantry leveled up. Hey, let's go, Lantry. Let's go, Lantry. Yeah. I actually am going to give Lantry some more health. Because I figured, hey, he needs more health. And then let's... Ooh, what's this? Place preservation seal on ally. Ooh, interesting. Grants bonus to arcane. Let's do that for his quill. Disfavored. Look at that. Favor of the Fatebinder. Yeah. And then we have Vendrian. The Vendrian Guard really hate us. Strange strength. Ooh, interesting. Okay, let's see this. Sigil. Sigil of Force. Concussive Bolt. Strength to that. Concussive Bolt, huh? Accuracy. Well, let's give myself some concussive bolt. Then what's this? Oh, the spire. So we have spire, mountain spire, mysterious device, maintenance costs. Oh. Edicts. Select a region to view information about its current edict. Edict of Fire. In the year 430 TR, Kyros says the proclaimed an edict over the Vellum Citadel. It is our solemn duty that those who are British. Oh, interesting. Edict of Storms. The Overlord proclaimed edict over the realm stalwart. Those who in pride arrogance stand against peace and shall be ground beneath the stones of their land. Let those who call themselves the Unbroken, who embrace the chaos and war. In the last year of Kyros' conquest, the Archon of Kyros rebelled against the Overlord's rule. The edict was proclaimed to preserve our peace. All Archons must submit to our will. Any Archon who refuses proper submission must be brought to justice. Therefore, the foundations of Azure will be shattered and life drained. Traitor. No edict there. No edict there. So, okay, so we can see edicts, and then Man's part of mysterious is. Oh. Ooh. So you can get 6 recruits. Get that. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get these 3 here. So we're gonna get a merchant with collection of items, and then a person who can teach us more on armored attacks and stuff, and then a corpse side who give us unique items.
Salutations, Fatebinder. Or should I now call you Lord of Vendrian's Well? The Spire King? Prince of the suggestive vertical slab.
Fatebinder is fine. Don't need
That is how I met you, so that's how it's gonna stick in my mind. So if I might ask, what is your plan now? The edict no longer looms overhead, and Kyros' conquest of the Tears seems to be slipping. What with the armies and civil war.
First order of business, I should speak with Tunon.
I would counsel you to do just that. I'm sure the events of Vendrian's Well are best explained from your mouth to Tunon's ears. Furthermore, I'd guess the Archon of Justice would want to know your take on the Archons and their divide. My first suggestion would be to build a boat. Something durable. I have a second and more practical suggestion. Look to the horizon and slightly up. By that I mean the other spires. We should see what's atop the...
What do you know about
Not
the
nearly
spires?
enough, apparently. To me, they've always been axioms of navigation. You can triangulate a lot of things with a sextant and a clear view to a spire or two. We've long known the spires radiate strong magical fields. And all save the mountain spire connect to the old walls. So it's the sort of thing common folk know from afar, but avoid day to day. I see. I'm sure there's little I can do to persuade you otherwise. Well, short of Tunon giving you orders on pain of death, you have the luxury of acting on your own volition. Whatever you decide, I'm at your disposal.
Your assistance will be most
And I'm
helpful.
thankful to not be a bloody pile of offal in Vendrian's Well. What is it you need? Now we're working with the disfavored. You want my advice? My advice would be to get close to Graven Ash and plunge a poisoned shiv in his ear. Well, if you're working with Graven Ash, give it your all. Offer to help the Archon of War with whatever he needs. The stronger the Legion, the weaker the Chorus. And if you get close enough to him, well, with enough trust, you could get very close to the Archon of War. I'm not saying it's a quick plan, but I think if you stay close in his confidence, the moment to strike will... Ask away.
Speaking
You
of
know,
magic.
I normally charge for this, but for you... Now, you know that's a very personal question. The knowledge I have is a centuries-old gift from the Archon of Tides. I would sooner discard my life than the sanctity.
Trade secret, not one to talk about. The school tides dies with me, and so too will this, and don't bother trying to change me. Tell me you influence ice, mist, and other forms of water. With years of training, now look, one of those secrets have already been stolen ages ago by the sages. Doesn't mean I'm going to tell you just because the secret's already out, but it means you can go ask someone else if you're really entitled to know. And before you ask, I've learned plenty from knowledge stolen by the sages. But no, I don't know how to do what that does, magically or otherwise. Can you teach me what you know? I suppose I'm capable of it. The secrets of the Archon of Tides die. But no, the secrets of the Archon of Tides dies with me. What are the philosophical teachings of your magic? There's a question I can answer. It would surprise you to learn that we all see all things, people, war, seasons to be cyclical, waxing and waning through various forms of tides in the lights of Tyranny's grave. The mind is limited. We're born and spend our lives dodging death, and we expect all stories to have a beginning and end. We assume all things start and stop just like us. In truth, things become cycles. From the Archon, from what Archon do the Tidecaster draw upon their magic? From the first Tidecaster was given the gift of magic by a school's founder, Oculate Jade, the Archon of Tides. Though she was not of Kyros' ilk, she was as powerful as any Archon, and from her name and legacy, we can mimic the moon's pull on the seas and change the currents. And it's from her that we have spells that turn the moon's pleasant hues into a baleful red of searing grave lights. In these years, I have now grown tired of the thrill of power. It's a rush carnal humor every time. I'm guessing you tell me more than I ever wanted to know about the moons. You're right. My magic is generally associated with the moon Tyranny, but to know where the interloper is in the sky when mucking about with my mystic forces. Do you control water, or do you mimic the tidal effects, the moons have on water? Both, actually. I'm amused you're keen on the difference. Our spells of ice and mist affect water directly, but are limited in volume. Displacing your own body weight in water is no mean feat. But if I were to move an ocean current, I'd drive myself nuts moving water in front of a boat a little at a time. That's where I use a cantrip to stimulate a tidal pull. Interloper's the one that moves in the sky, if I remember the lessons correctly. Exactly. Interloper orbits Tyrannis at a steady clip, and its orbit sometimes crosses in front of Tyrannis' grave, leading to mystical calamity if you don't know what you're doing. Tyrannis' grave is fixed in the sky, always overhead and day and night. It was first named by folks living far to the east. They'd look to the west and see the moon like a permanent hill on the horizon, a grave where the sun dies each evening. That's how the older folks saw it. If you live in the western part of the world, Tyrannis' grave is overhead all the time. He's there. Oh my god. Interesting. Have you heard anything from Tidecasters that left before the war? No, and I don't like entertaining the hope. Those cowards are all gone. If they didn't die at the sea, they're dead to me. I reserve the right to be pleasantly surprised if they come back, eager to fight the good fight, but I'm not holding my breath. We can talk about our arcane
I
knowledge.
normally charge for this, but for you...
Do you know anything of the magic of the Archons? Enough to know that I'm out of my element. That is to say, I've studied many Archons a great deal, and I have a number of hypotheses and conjectures, but, well, I'm no expert yet. And like most who have invoked Archons of times past to work magic, I do wonder the difference of birth or experience one gives one the magical potential to be an Archon. Most of my studies have been into the question of origins of form. If it's known, we can... Reading about the old well. Not enough, never enough. Ebb smiles, twirling her staff in her hands. As a child, I was terrified of the old wells. I think this is true of most folks now that I can arc grave light with a wiggle of my fingers. Well, I think when I'm a shriveled old hag, dying in the old wells would be a great way to go. What can you tell me of the Bane? What I largely know of Master Cambrel's work is some near fatal experience venturing close to the old walls. As I understand, the Banes are bits of magical will that have extended life of their own. I'm of the belief that they nest or reproduce in the old walls, the only place you regularly find them. Our magic attracts the Bane, that much I know to be true firsthand. Again, this is personal theory, but I'm guessing they eat or drink magic, so our spells are invitations to dine.
Ask away.
Tell me about yourself. No, I'm not here to gab or flirt or whatever is on your mind. If you have orders, that's one thing, but I don't want to discuss folks I've lost or other things. Alright, yeah, cool, that's fine. Forget it. Questions. I think we're good on questions. Fuck it. Yeah, let's ask. What do you make of Barrick?
My one concern with Barrick is that he's still loyal to Graven Ash and not to you. Barrick seems steadfast, faithful, and dependable. But if it comes down to you versus Graven Ash, therein lies the test.
If it weren't a tactical asset, it'd be fun to try and pry him out of that suit. Curious to see if his misstaging is as strong as firm as taut as I've imagined it would be. Oh. What are your thoughts on Verse?
We should consider ourselves fortunate that one of the most deadly members of the Scarlet Furies considers you a suitable gang leader. That said, I think her involvement with you is entirely suspect. I would wager good money the voices of Neratis listening through her, or perhaps seeing what she sees.
And what is your take on
Probably
Lantry?
the only word thief I haven't wanted to dismember. Him? I'd merely play with an ice knife.
The Wandering Scholar thing seems an act. It's always an act with the sages. Always pretending to know less than they really do. I'm sure he's got 1,000 reasons for why he's not like them or more trustworthy than, but I know his type, and so I don't trust him. Oh, that's high praise coming from you. I'm going to take this staff and repeatedly jam in your backside until you prolapse. Ah, just like that, balance is restored to all known existence. You had me worried there.
Ask away.
Nah, we're good. Thank you. Are you content to wander about looking for conversation? Because some of us want to head down to rejoin the troops. There's a war going on. I won't rest until the teleport is working. How do you think Ash will respond to the Civil War? With tact and coordination, the voice will arise in the chaotic, emotional, and baseless creature. Graven Ash is going to dismantle the Scarlet Chorus and wipe its leader from the face. Tell me about yourself. Fatebinder, I'm the lieutenant who's going to start kicking people off this spire if I don't see that teleporter flicker to life. Now it's not the time. Okay. Alright. Alright. Anyways, Barrick, let's speak.
So, civil war divides the armies of mighty Kyros. The reckoning that comes of this failure will be great indeed. We find ourselves in the darkest times. Brothers and sisters who fought for a similar cause now skewer each other over blighted lands in the favor of distant powers.
What would you done at Vendrian's Well?
Backing the disfavored was the only logical choice. Graven Ash is the only Archon worthy of your confidence, and you were wise to recognize as much. Naturally, I would have done the same. Whatever others might say about what happened in Vendrian's Well, you acted from instinct. I can't help but respect that. What can I do for you?
Have either of you noticed that you fight particularly well with together?
The thought has crossed my mind from time to time. During the many battles of the Conquest, we found ourselves standing back to back with enemies on all sides on more than one occasion.
The big guy here is as useless as an empty scabbard without his phalanx to keep him alive, but I move fast enough to compensate for it. And it's nice having a living wall of rusted iron I can use for cover.
I want you two to train together.
Absolutely not. Our fighting styles are incompatible, and any disfavored lieutenant will tell you not to join at the hip soldiers who can't stomach each other.
I'm inclined to agree. If you want to pair up fighters, there has to be some great passion or magnetism between them. We don't have it.
Hey, if neither of you is up to the challenge, then I won't force the matter.
A valiant attempt, but I'm not as easily swayed by your courtly tongue.
Neither am I. At least, not in this context.
Well, we can discuss it again later.
You look as if you have something on your mind. What can I do for you? This is not worthy.
Speak for yourself, you overstuffed mound of scrap metal. I've got nothing to hide.
Very well. Since you force my hand, I will relent. Though know that it goes against my... We are... siblings.
Called it. I knew it.
Half-siblings. Regrettable and repugnant as that fact might seem, it is true.
That's why they
The
fight so
products of
well
different
together.
nations and cultures, we have the distinction of sharing a father. I am disgusted by the thought that my father lay down with some low-born southern farmhand. But my horror does not spare me from the truth of it. So I accept the fact and try to move on.
You should take it as a compliment to our father's skills. My mother's a tough woman to please. I rather think I took after him, don't you?
How did you two become aware of this?
During the conquest, the Scarlet Chorus made sport of shooting down messenger birds on their way to the disfavored camp. Anything they could accomplish to hinder our efforts or embarrass us was fair game. My father sent a missive intended for my eyes alone. By incredible chance, Verse intercepted it and recognized the name and handwriting. She found me in camp that evening, and we discussed our unlikely situation. We've done everything in our power to keep the word quiet. Not many in the Legion know that I share blood with a Southerner, much less a chorus rat.
Don't worry, Barrick. When my old gang boss caught wind of our discovery, I killed her and took the gang for myself. Our secret's safe with me. Well, it was, anyway.
Do you even like each other?
Not particularly. She is unstable at the best of times, and a hardened killer at the worst.
Alright, I know our goal,
I don't
gang.
know what her family did to her, but she lacks any pretense of human decency.
Our goal throughout this playthrough are gonna get this brother and sister to become a duo and to actually love each other as brother and sister. We're gonna get them to actually get along.
It takes one to know one. Don't act like we're so different, Barrick. You're the most repressed and intolerant soldier I've ever met. You hide it under duty and pride, but it's still there.
How has this affected you, Barrick?
Well, Verse has a nasty habit of jabbering in my ear and making this war intolerable. I plan on parting ways and returning to the north at first convenience. My father will answer for his infidelity. Beyond that, I am happy to consider myself in every way unaffected. My superiors once accused me of having an impulsive streak, but I have worked to suppress it at every turn.
When you go back home, send Father my fondest greetings and thanks. If he hadn't gone to ground on my mother's dry dock, I might not be here today.
My heritage was a point of pride and distinction before I met you, Verse. Not that you would care.
Have you noticed any significant impact?
I've asked myself about that several times, but unfortunately I don't have what you'd call a definitive answer. The Northerners put a lot of meaning behind family and blood. Seems arbitrary to me, but I don't want to discredit it entirely. I told you about what happened to my Scarlet Fury sisters. The hesitation I experienced. Sometimes I wonder if that wasn't because of my connection to Barrick. He's stubborn, regimented, everything I'm not. I suppose there's no telling for sure, but if I had to guess... Yeah. Sometimes I get messed up in my head, and learning I had a brother has helped me understand that better.
I've heard enough. Though I'd like to return to this topic when both of you are present.
If we must. I cannot imagine what can be gained of traveling together. I grant that we are both proficient fighters, but most days we get along as well as the archons of war and secrets.
Okay, so we learned something new about them. We learned something new. Barrick, we need to get like full. You need a reputation change of a major strength. Huh? We need to get like full thing with them. We need them to get really on our side. We also got to get Lantry on our side. We gotta start doing stuff for Lantry. Alright, let's talk with Verse.
So, the Scarlet Chorus and Disfavored are at each other's throats. Can't say I didn't see that coming, but the Archons might have waited until one war was over before they started another.
Do you think I made the right decision?
Fighting with the Disfavored. Oh, not the call I would have made, but I'm sure you have your reasons. If you like iron weapons or something about that purple uniform excites you, then be my guest.
It kind of does. I do like the purple.
Who can say? War is all about compromising your morals, deciding who lives and dies. What seems like a mistake turns into your greatest call down the road. Let me make one thing clear, just so that there aren't any misunderstandings. You support Graven Ash, and I couldn't care less. I'm here because you've done what none of the Archons could. Not even the voices of... He's also a complete bastard, and I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to stab him in the gut and take control of his army. So, there's that. I'll say this much. Our time together is anything but dull. My blades are yours for as long as you'll have me.
Noted.
What
I
do
have
you
some
need?
questions for you. Okay, we already did that. Hold on. Let us actually... Yep.
What is it you need? Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna
Goodbye
add
to
it
you
This will
too.
prove interesting.
to our party real quick, just so we can do this. Oh, no. There we go. Hello. Hello. We're gonna change your colors. Purple and green. Save. Where's the purple? Where's the grade? You lied to me. You lied to me. No, at least let's level her up. We'll do that, and give her some health. Boom. Let's see. Oh my god. That's actually kind of sick, I won't lie. Yeah. We'll do that. Boom. Okay. Although I don't think I'm gonna have Ebb in my team, so let's go talk to Verse.
At your service, Fatebinder. What do you need? And I seem to be missing again.
I'll tack homeward. See you there.
You. Okay. Now let us talk with
At
Lantry.
least in theory, I'm supposed to be observing history and not getting myself wrapped into it. All the same, this is the thrill of a lifetime. Rarely does one stand so close to monumental moments in the making. If given the choice between a multifaceted hive mind of treachery and a surly old soldier, General Grumps is the wiser choice. It's patently obvious which Archon is truly loyal to Kyros. So, I must ask, are you planning on taking sides in the Civil War? Or do you have other plans?
For so long as it suits my purposes, I'll ally with the
The
disfavored.
Archon of War is about as noble as a professional killer can be. And unlike the voices of Narat, he doesn't bring with him a gaggle of rapists and pillagers in his wake. The disfavored could use your help. They are outnumbered.
Outwitted, you say? I'll have you know the disfavored boast the most capable strategists of Kyros' armies. If we're outwitted, it's because the motives and tactics of our enemies are too brainless for any rational soldier to grasp.
Ash lent me his best stone shield in a time of war. His loss, am I right? If he's such a great general, how'd he get into a pissing match with a mob? Ash lent me his best stone shield in a time of war. His loss, am I right?
A kind sentiment, but hardly one that proves my point. If you're trying to shield the scholar with empty compliments, you're wasting everyone's time.
Whatever you do next, consider that many eyes will be upon you. For you have both delivered and taken away the Overlord's edicts, and few will know how to make sense of the latter. You are an exception the Archons cannot afford to ignore. They will likely aim to control or destroy you.
Have you heard of edicts being broken before?
Most of Kyros' edicts were either worded to end in a manner of the Overlord's choosing, or the edicts have simply continued in perpetuity. That's not to say there haven't been stories of broken edicts. They're just uncommon. The oldest is, I think, Galbraith and the Edict of Sorrows, and that tale dates back to around the year 110. Aside from you, the most recent was the Edict of Twisting Grasses, back in 380. In all these stories, Kyros' edict very clearly gives its victim a single way to escape, and someone manages it. What's never happened is the pure abatement of an edict, like using a spell of warding or cancellation.
Noted. Have a moment, let's talk further. Let's discuss some current matters.
Of course. How can I help?
Know anything about the region we're in?
The Spires predate us all. As far as I know, we're the only ones who've been up here
I
since...
love Landry's voice.
Ever? I think this might be a first. Perhaps the real Trailblazer had trouble getting down and was lost to history. Of course. How can I help?
What are your thoughts about our traveling
Are you
associates?
asking for an objective assessment? Or is this your way of saying you want to gossip?
Berg, what do you make of
He
him?
is a proper Northman, with duty in his blood. Which makes me suspect his loyalty to Ash is stronger than his loyalty to you. So long as your interests remain aligned to Graven Ash, this shouldn't be an issue. I must admit, I am completely fascinated by his predicament. Ever tried diagramming the articulations of his armor? Don't. It'll only lead to madness and ruination.
Thoughts on verse?
I know little of swordplay, and couldn't work a curve and arrow to save my life. I can't really comment on the lady.
Lady? You're just afraid to talk in front of me, clear as day. Your sweat is easier to read than your ink scribbles.
No, not at all. I just don't know how to comment on a warrior's worth, that's all.
Spare me your blather.
Verse pauses to read Landry's body language.
Huh. Think that, do you? Didn't know you had such swollen hope for me.
No need to keep secrets, Landry.
A most fascinating specimen. I think she has great potential. A dangerous amount of potential, to be blunt. The Scarlet Furies are the fighting elite of the Scarlet Chorus, and that means floating to the top of a sea of blood and chum. We should consider ourselves lucky to have her on our side, with her weapons usually pointed. Good typecasters stay underwater. Kyros did the Tears a favor by erasing those moon howlers from history. A shame one of them escaped justice.
I like that I make you this agitated. Considering all the things that don't seem to bother you in the slightest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of getting off on how much power you're giving me here.
Ugh. And then there's your coquettish act whenever someone calls you on your teeth. I'll be the one ready to tangle when, not if, you decide to pounce.
Some questions
I
for
am
you.
nothing if not us.
I'd like to know more about you. What's your story? Tell me the origins of Landry. Someday, someone half your age will ask you to sum up your life, and you'll realize what an odious request it is. Well, where to start? I grew up in Sunder. I was born right after independence from the realm of Stalwart, and so, yeah, do the math and you'll realize I'm old. My parents were harbor hands, and my mother never returned from a voyage, and my father lost his hand to infection, decided to sell me to the School of Ink and Quills. As a novice, I was assigned to the Dove Cuts, where I learned how to raise and groom birds to carry missives, and most of my early tomes are on that subject. I feel like I've already talked to him about all this. Were you born Landry, or did you take on that name on joining the School of Ink and Quill? Most sages take a new name when they join school, but for me, the transition was difficult at first. I stuck to my old commoner name, and then just never got around to picking some high-faultin name like Sage of Falsus or Sage Dangling Participle. Is this your true Skyne? Did you always want it to be a sage? I cannot imagine doing anything different. I suppose in my youngest days I yearned for battle and glory like most boys and you. Having now seen how short a soldier's life can be, I look back on that old calling and that old mindset and laugh. So really, you mentioned you raised birds earlier. Think you'll go back to doing that? At some point, yes, but good birds are needed to keep the missives moving through the tiers. I set all my birds to flight before the edict turned a phrase. constant call, and the rest, they're out there somewhere. Maybe when this is over, I'll summon them back and start a new Dove God. How do you feel about Kyros? How can I not help but find him to be the most captivating person alive? The man has bent empires, claimed continents. Where he goes, history follows. I won't deny he has killed millions at least, but I contend more would have died in petty wars across Tyrannus in the void of Kyros. Let's speak of something
I am
else.
nothing if not
I'd like to discuss
and
Arcane.
I'd be happy to oblige. Ever since the fall of the Vellum Citadel, it is hard to find someone with whom I can discuss such things.
What do you know of Kyros' edicts? Kyros has cast many over the ages, and to my knowledge has never worded 2 edicts exactly the same. Edicts defy our understanding of magic. Kyros' magic works over vast distances, over indefinite durations, and no archon or mere mage can counter the force of an edict. What can you tell of edicts in general? I explain it to my students like this. A spell is to an edict as a drop of rain is to a hurricane. Edicts and spells are both magical cantrips, but differ intensity by orders of magnitude. Edicts are almost commands to Tyrannus and must be carried out until the instructions allow for the magic to end. If Kyros wants a plague until the next judge's day, expect copious buboes until the next judge's days. Nothing has ever dispelled an edict, nothing outside of the edict's own sunset clause, as I like to think of them. I'm curious about a specific edict. Any thoughts on the edict of execution cast on Vendrian's Valley? It seems like the Archons were about to kill each other, and the threat of mutual destruction was all Kyros had left. I imagine fear is the only way to get someone like the Voices in Arant to follow orders, and the edict certainly did whip them into action. Edict of Stone. The Edict of Stone ravaged the realm of Azure. The upheaval of earth and rock turned the rolling plains into a craggy steppe known as the Stone Sea. Since the edict was directed at the traitorous Archon of Stone, it would seem the upheaval of Azure was a secondary consequence, though I imagine little of what Kyros does is unintentional. What do you know about the Edict of Fire? Are you asking to salt an old wound? I remember the territory of waking screams. I remember leaving behind my Caractacus and tomes, leaving my birds to cook, my students to choke on smoke. I know it was Kyros that cast the edict, not you. It's like being mad at the carrying pigeon instead of the offer. It's just odd to be so close to your voice all day, knowing that's the voice that brought the Vellum Citadel. To proclaim an edict is to be tangible face of a massive ruination. We all know the name Kyros, but who even knows his eye color? You, on the other hand, we can all remember in our minds with relative clarity. Can you tell me the Edict of Storms? The Edict of Storms turned the once forested lands of Stalwart into a windswept wasteland. They call it the Blade Grave now. Since only the iron and bronze armaments remain, hurricane breezes, rust winds, and relentless lightning have destroyed the housing farmlands. Let us speak of something else. Do edicts... Kyros has cast many... Do edicts work on the same arcane principles as spellcraft and other magic?
Edicts are the strongest manifestation of magic we know, and they seem to violate all other lesser phenomena. No dispel cantrip has ever dented or abated an edict. Even archons with powers of great durability cannot shrug off their effects. Just look at Cairn. Now, what I find curious, edicts can flex a little. Or so my studies suggest this is the case. Take the Edict of Storms. While the day it was proclaimed was the most violent, the actual radius of the storm has changed over time. But most will have none of my hypotheses on this matter.
Fine, I'll take the bait. What's your conjecture about edicts?
So, in my studies, some edicts resolve some problem of the overlords and then vanish into history. But the edicts that linger around, almost all of them begin to widen. Their effects become more intense. Here's the intriguing part. The older the edict, and the more that's written about it, the more the reports of that edict get more dire over time.
Perhaps edicts have a life of their own once set in motion.
Something to that effect, at least. I contend that edicts are powered by fear. Fear of Kyros helps fuel the casting, and fear of the edict feeds the magic, sustaining it, and, if enough people fear it, even growing it a bit.
Ruled by fear is certainly Kyros' way.
Intellectual honesty demands that I study the matter more. If I'm correct, the more people fear and obsess over an edict, the stronger it becomes. Anyway, another study for another time.
Let's speak of something
And
else.
I'd be happy to oblige.
What do you know?
Ever since the fall of the Vellum Citadel,
Do you know of
it
magic
is
of the Archons? I've studied many of the Archons for many years compared to the other sages. I'm an expert on the subject, which is sad because I feel like I've still so much. How does the magic of Archons work? The Archons will have magical powers that are intuitive. When the voice in the rock pulls out someone's mind or Graven Ash protects his shoulders, that magic isn't a side spell or ritual to them. It's closer to flexing one's hand. Archons are the, what's the word for it? Axiom of magic, the root of magic, spell pioneers. I'm sure this analogy is off in many ways, but I see Archons as the mothers of original magic and everyone else is just imitating them. To confuse things a bit, some Archons learn to cast other spells in the same fashion as us lesser mages. If you are as important as an Archon, you learn quick that all knowledge is power. I've studied many of the Archons for many years. Compared to the other sages, I'm an expert on the subject, which is sad. Are all Archons loyal to Kyros? Officially, yes. In actuality, no. Those with the true gift for magic always come to the attention of Kyros. A few manage to evade attention for a bit. The School of Tides was founded by one such uncontrollable, but these are history's exceptions. Occulted Jade, Archon of Tides, never bowed to Kyros, and it's said she survived assassins sent to silence her. It makes her flight from Kyros before the war all the more troubling. We knew her as a symbol of strength, but when threatened, her weaker nature won. When we write biographies on the Archons, we often refer to them as exarchs in their formative years before stepping into the prime. But officially, Kyros is supposed to grant all titles of Archon. It's quite the faux pas to self-appellate. Exactly why Jade insists on calling herself Archon of Tides. She didn't need Kyros' approval to wear the title she deserves, and I know she loved the fact that doing so must have annoyed Kyros. How is an Archon born or bred? I think we all dream of one day waking up and being an Archon. Given some of the madmen and loons that have exhibited mystical greatness, it can seem unfair that the rest of us can't do it. I can't say with confidence, Archons aren't born, they become. Graven Ash is a good study of this. Before he was the Archon of War, he was a successful commander, each victory more daring and glorious than the next. Somewhere along the line, his leadership took on mystical qualities. The Graven Ash we know today can reach out and protect his soldiers from harm, but maybe at first he could just protect those near him. I wouldn't know for certain, but all will attest that he didn't have this power his whole life.
And I'd be happy to oblige.
What do you know of spellcraft?
I've forgotten more than most blood chanters have ever learned. What do you want to know?
Can you teach me
I
anything?
think you know all I can teach you.
What sort of magic did the sages teach you? Sage Sinden tutored me in the traditional sigils, those of preservation, concealment, and healing, as derived from the bygone Archons of Faravis, Fading Wrath, and the Orphan Midwife. The preservation magic is largely functional, sealing parchment, binding books, that sort of thing. All of us chroniclers learn concealment magic, as our ideal method would be to study events without contaminating the decisions being made. As for healing magic, many of us modern sages study this a great deal. The school has a shoddy reputation among the common folk. I figure if they knew us as healers and caregivers, maybe they would... Healing, now that's a noble craft to study. True, but given how accident-prone I can be, I think the person that benefits most from my magic is me. But certainly, the most gratifying spells I know are the ones that ease pain and suffering. What can you tell me about signing spells? Scholars don't have a good word for what Archons do when they cast magic. Couldn't tell you how Graven Ash casts his protection over his soldiers, nor would I know how Blooded Mark conscientiously decides to move through a shadow. But when us mere mages want to cast a spell, we do so by signing the sigil of Archon that previously discovered the magical phenomenon in question. It's debated whether Archons create new magic or just discover magic that was waiting. Oh, that's all for now. Thank you. Thank you, Lantry. On closer inspection, a series of symbols carved around the base of the structure comes to view. One symbol pulses with blue-white glow. The pattern resembles the glowing lines of light seen on the floor of the Ascension Hall moments before you found yourself transported above the clouds. As you stare at the symbol, the chill of wind abates and your chest swells with warmth. The air finally feels welcome and your lungs sated at last. I'd be careful going any closer. This whole tower is humming with energies that we don't understand. Lantry holds his quill poised above a sheet of parchment. Now, I didn't say back away. Let's find out what it does. Just be cautious. You staked your claim on the tower and everything in it. Whatever that sculpture is belongs to you. I feel dizzy. Do you feel dizzy? Barry massages the brow of his helmet, causing a howl of grinding iron to echo across the expanse. Let's touch the sculpture. Ooh, what does this button do? And I touch it, and then I blow up. The stone is smooth and cool to the touch. Marbling patterns move the curves of the sculpture, looking more akin to veins than imperfections of rock. You can't find a single marking to suggest an artisan's tools. As you're about to draw your finger away, you feel sudden return pressure on your fingertips as the sculpture touches you back. The sculpture is once again still. There's a rush warmth through your body, a jolt of enervation that steadies your balance. A barrage of tactile sensation floods your mind as you feel footsteps and wind, but not on your face or your limbs. A moment later, the flood of information begins to make sense. You are feeling the wind against the spire and even the weight of your own feet, as if the spire were a second spine. With this connection made, you feel your awareness pull from this place, not as a traveler, but as one glimpsing the world from impossibly far away. In this moment, there is nothing you cannot see through, though you see it nearly all at once in a flood of sensation that is difficult to parse. You see a spire at the crossing of an ancient stone structure, two walls extending off into the distance. At the base of this internal spire, settlers and merchants act in every way of unconcerned, toiling under the observation of unforgiving taskmasters. As the shadow of the spire falls over them, the mood changes. The settlers pause in shared unease and look up to the sky, toward you. Some of the faces looking at you are familiar, and you recognize this place as LaFane's Crossing, where you served during the war. Near the settlement built at the joining of the ancient walls, you see a breach in the massive masonry, a cleft hidden beneath. Let's drift to the old wall's entrance. Shadows envelop you, muting all sound and vision with slight delay. There's a feeling of perversion, of wrongness. Whatever arcane power is allowing your senses to drift free from your body seems to falter in this place. Figures haunt the stone walls, drifting emanations of cloud, claw, fang. They pay you no heed, but you fear them all the same. In the depths of this forbidden place, the deepest chamber is bathed in light. An arcane symbol illuminates the floor, though the details hurt your eyes when you focus. With a gentle tug, your focus pulls back to a new horizon, though it takes a moment to recognize that it's venturing as well. You turn your awareness. The fact leaves you unsteady on your feet. Let's close to the spire. The spire feels similar to the one you now occupy, though instead of radiating arcane life, it reeks of dust and crumbling stone. A branch withering, once pulled from its tree. It reaches for you with barely perceptible tug. The link between you and the spire recedes. The arcane bond is still present, but the mystical energies for the moment are quiet. Your body flooded with excitement and fatigue. It's unclear whether the mystic connection is strengthening you or siphoning. The tower offers nothing but a way of answer, and you know that asking would only yield more silence and mystery. The deluge of sensation is over, but the positions of the other spires still linger in your mind. From your vantage point atop the mountain spire, you can easily spot the mysterious structures, each of them rising above their distant surroundings. Did you sense that? Lantry signs a long sigil in the air, squinting at you as he works in his cantrip. The ripples are everywhere. When you move, the magic of this place stirs and churns. That portal over there, those burning braziers, they all grow more intense as you approach. I think it's responding to your presence. Before we get ahead of ourselves, it's worth remembering that you ended Kyros' edict. That's no small feat. Maybe your connection to this place is related. Either way, it sounds like something for the arcane-minded to investigate. Be sure to see me after your audience with Tunon. We cannot let the Scarlet Chorus gain hold in the tears. Together we'll wipe them from the land. Come to me as soon as you can, Fatebinder. We have a lot of work to do. Investigate the spires. Find a way to the LaFane's Crossing spire. So there's Tunon's Gorge. Okay, let's see what this is. What happens if we touch it again? Sculpture does not respond to our touch. Okay, so let's look at our... So we have the voice of Kyros. Let's go to Tunon. Stirring visions. Whatever you did in Ascension Hall in Vendrian's Well has given you the power to interact with the spire. Before you ascended the spire, you had a vision of when the edict broke. Understanding the vision might help you. You had a vision of the spires scattered across the tiers. You can feel connection between them, and the spire you claim the Vendrian's Well gather more information about you. Find a way to Lofane. So you have access to... You have gained access to Haven. The region spire is attached to the old walls at the Lofane's Crossing settlement. Travel there and find a way to gain access to the spire. Okay. Well, let's... Ascension Hall, Vendrian's Well. Okay, whoa. Okay, that's Haven. Haven! And that's to the Sunset Spire, the Bastard City. There's the Stone Sea, there's Cacophony. Burning Library, Iron Hearth, Sentinel Sand. Okay, okay. So we could go to Sunset Spire, but let's just go to Bastard City first. 2 days, 7 hours, and 30 minutes. When using area of effect, ability or spell, target an enemy directly to have the ability to track their position. This makes it easier to hit the moving targets. Lady Lucretius. This well-dressed older woman stands apart from the milling crowds of nobles. She stares off in the distance, oblivious to your approach, until you're right in front of her. Oh, greetings! She offers a reserve. Anda Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here. A fatebinder, no doubt. Do you need something from me? What are all these nobles doing in Tunon's court? Trying to look brave, I warned, but if you crane an ear to any of the conversation, you'll hear a different tale. 3 years since Tunon set up shop in the Bastard City, we're still getting used to our new masters and figuring out what we can and can't ask of them. She nods to the assembled nobles. These are smart, ring-plenty folk. The way they approach Tunon, you'd think they were raised under a tyrant's lash. Some have come to settle grievance, others to pledge fealty. I've been standing around long enough to know that the adjudicator doesn't care for empty gestures. How's the Bastard City fared since conquest? The armies claimed the city in a quieter, more organized manner than I might have expected. I can credit them that much, to be sure. Kyros' forces made short work of our local mages. I've never approved of the school of Wild Wrath, but at least they were ours to control. I'm not sure that the blood chanters I see on patrol are a better alternative. We suffered our share of hardships, but it seems that Kyros wants us alive. That's a more generous outcome than some of us were led to believe. What brings a noble like yourself to Tunon's court? Like the rest of the frightened inbreds here, I came to see Tunon and ask him to right a wrong. My manor was destroyed during the conquest. I told the adjudicator my woes, but we didn't exactly see eye to eye. Tell me of yourself. I'm the daughter of a noble house. We were wealthy enough to live in the city, but our means beyond that were limited. My mother dealt in fish, textiles, and bronze. By the time I inherited the business, was taking care of itself. Of course, all of that changed. Thistleholm is no more, and my name has none of its former weight. Even if we were still in business, Kyros' laws would stifle our trading rights. Perhaps it's better this way. What is Thistleholm? It was my family's ancestral hall. The oldest stones dated back to the years when the Bastard City was not but a dozen roofs and wagons clustering for warmth. Compared to the houses of the great lords, it was nothing special. Age has softened the wood, and its queer placement in the warehouse district set it apart from the finer grounds where lords and ladies strolled for amusement. It was a mess, but our mess all the same. I would invite you over for tea, something stronger even, but it would only disappoint. You'll find not there but a gaping hole. What happened? Collateral damage happened. When the adjudicator cast his judgment on the Bastard City, he destroyed the districts of the corrupt merchant kings, their manors, their counting houses, and yes, their warehouses. Aged, dignified Thistleholm collapsed as a massive sinkhole opened under her foundation. The Bastard City's laws may not have been perfect by Kyros' standard, but my family followed them with respect and never took a copper ring more than we deserved. I can't help but feel that my estate was not the criminal Tunon had in mind during his sentencing. So what are you going to do next? That's the question, isn't it? I appealed to the adjudicator, thinking he would see reason. After considering my case for all of 8 seconds, he awarded me a belt of rings and a plot of land on the outskirts of the city. Tunon told me to build anew and start farming. Farming! Can you believe that? It's not even that I'm opposed to the labor, but we're in war. I can't have the Scarlet Horse breathing down my neck, raiding my crops, and Kyros knows what else. Tunon's word is Kyros' law, whether you think it's fair. Kyros' law is made to serve the masses, not the individual. Stop whining and take your rings. Just, the Scarlet Horse are dogs. I suggest you use those rings to hire protection. Tunon's word is Kyros' law, whether you think it's fair or not. Don't I know it? Meaning no disrespect to you or your office, I never questioned the power of Tunon's word. I come from a long line of smart, ring-savvy merchants, but even I can't reconcile Tunon's justice with Kyros' law. There's something wrong about it. Maybe Tunon knows something I don't, maybe. You presume to know more of justice than the adjudicator? No, it's not that at all. I'm saying that I don't understand Kyros' law as well as I thought I did. Maybe none of us do. People come here for justice. They usually get a version of it, but it's Tunon's version, not theirs. Half of the time, they don't even get what they wanted out of a ruling in their favor. The deed to a farm, for instance. Not to put my own ignorance on display, but if more people knew how Kyros' law worked, they might not come here seeking a ruling at all, even a fair one. Tunon is the servant of the law! I'm the law! But he's the Overlord's vassal as much as any of us. Sometimes it seems like he uses his position to twist everything in the Empire's favor. We're just pieces on a board, and he can move us wherever the law justifies that we stand. That doesn't sound, well, legal. Kyros defines law. This isn't for either of us, the question. Tunon isn't the one to change his mind. Unfair as it may seem, the ruling stands. You should know better than to speak ill of the adjudicator in my presence. I can only endeavor to bring true justice to the fears. Fascinating. Now, how much is my silence worth to you, ungrateful one? Fascinating. Now, how much is my silence worth to you, ungrateful one? Look. Kyros defines the law. This isn't for either of us to question. I suppose not. The Bastard City used to have laws, the laws of woman and mankind, but now we have laws of the Overlord. The people will get accustomed to it in no time, and so will I. Goodbye, Fate. Good day, Fatebinder. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so there's Scarlet Chorus, other stuff. Alright, let's just go heal. Yo, this favored Scarlet Chorus. Everyone. Yo, what's good, homies?
You call yourselves officers of Kyros' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
Let's just listen in. Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. She makes a dismissive gesture to the Scarlet Chorus representative. On my honor, and on that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon.
Oh. So you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies because the disfavored thinks themselves better than an honest gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Blood and Mark will see to your fate.
Who's Blood and Mark again? Blood and Mark is Kyros' knife in the shadows, the unseen drop of poison that enforces the Overlord's will. He reports to Tunon the Adjudicator, serving in his capacity as the final word to those who hold Kyros' law in contempt. Few know the origin of the Archon of Shadows, or how Kyros maintains a hold on him. Those who anger the Archon never live long past the sunset.
Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kyros' peace, They have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
The Archons could not agree on who should lead the siege and descended into accusations of treachery. It seemed a mutual spat. The Archons have been on different minds since the start. It seemed to be a mutual spat. The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and trading outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn.
What balderdash! The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy if only Ash and his legion would agree to the plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warn you both against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. The disfavored sing your praises across the realm, though the Scarlet Chorus appeal for charges of treason. Perhaps you can offer a more enlightened account.
I claimed the citadel of a small unit of disfavored.
An efficient solution, the type I would expect from a capable agent. Tell me though, with the edict looming overhead and death the price of failure, why not employ the numerical advantage of the Scarlet Chorus?
The siege called for tactics and planning, not raw numbers. The voices of Narat provoked Ash at every turn. I suspected treachery. Well, honestly, tactics and planning. For a long while, the Adjudicator hovers in silence, shadows trailing below his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time?
I've told you all that I know.
Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder. A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival. Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming with their kind. If you would root out treachery, I would advise starting there. Petitioners, leave us. I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder. Ascend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Of course, Tunon. Who's this fuck? Oh, it's the other Fatebinder Nunavol. Ah, Grimsley, you return! Unscathed and acclaimed than ever. It seems to be your way. The Fatebinder of War clasps you good-naturedly and excessive strength on the back. Come! You must regale me with all that your journey has held. I could use a moment of respite between friends. Speak as you wish. I pay a bull's weight in rings to know your thoughts. How were you singled out to become a Fatebinder? I cannot speak for the other Fatebinders, but I joined the court when I was yet still a boy, impetuous beyond reason. I had been imprisoned with a death sentence for the crime of desecrating corpses. It was nothing so exciting as you're no doubt imagining. I was merely burning corpses that awaited burial before the local authority could see me to the gallows. The Adjudicator claimed me a great talent waiting to be realized, needing only to be steered. Why burn the bodies? And corpses piling in the streets spread plague faster than the filthiest of rats. I was but 10 and a weak fighter. I did what I could for my homeland. Why was it a crime? There was a time when even the Northmen were of superstitious stock, a time before Kyros brought reason to the realms. The people of my city believed that without proper rites, I was cheating our fallen warriors from returning to the land. It's a good thing Tunon spared you. As I have said, the Adjudicators saw within me something of a rare value, as it is true for all of us. You as well were chosen for our great court, which I am grateful. As the Fatebinder of War, I rely heavily on your talents. Let's speak on something else. I'm curious about Tunon's mask. They can be rather unsettling, can't they? Even to one such as me, but I can assure you, the innocent need not fear for their objective emotionless gaze. What of Adjudicator's mask pursued you? I want to know about the silent face. The silent face is the face that Tunon shows to us now, and for that we are fortunate beyond belief. The silent face is a patient face, a face for listening as Tunon presides over all matters that brought to the court, taking great pains to ensure all sides of an issue are heard. I want to know about the face of resolve. Tunon's last known dawning of the face of resolve was the moment he judged and called ruin to half of the districts in the bastard city. Since then he has ruled our northern tier justly, calmly, and with efficient diplomacy. I want to know about the face that is no more. Tunon is said to have worn a third mask in eons past. I have heard rumor that the face displeased Kyros and thus was destroyed, as happens to all persons and objects that displease our overlord. Have you ever seen Tunon change his masks? In the way that you or I would change our raiment, no, not as such. And yet I have seen the masks shift. They switch without the adjudicator or anyone as much laying a hand on them. It's not something you can watch unfold after a time. You merely realize it has already happened. There's work enough for the court that we would occupy ourselves wondering mysteries. Could you remind me of the history and origins of the Fatebinders? We are a relatively young order, and we have spanned these 2 centuries. While the voices of Narad and Graven Ash need armies to execute the will, Tunon wields but a modest court of vassals. We exist as an extension of his law. There is no place in all of Tyranny beyond our judgment. Tell me more about Kyros' armies, our allies. Ah, yes, with friends like these, our work is often self-explanatory. Were you asking about the Scarlet Corps or the disfavored? Let's ask about the Scarlet Corps. The Scarlet Corps soldiers hail from every corner of every realm. As the Corps marches, it conscripts indiscriminately from those it conquers to replenish its ranks. There's no continuity of command in the Corps. Narat encourages even the strong to challenge their leaders, but the Corps has numbers and brute force is almost always a viable option, much as Rogalis insists otherwise. Besides the Corps, Scarlet Corps draws strength from the multitude of swallows. Its bloodchanters have taken knowledge from various tiers mystics, and many of the Corps' best soldiers were grown here in the south. The disfavored are the iron tip of Kyros' great phalanx, armed with the best weapons and the most comprehensive training, and led by the brilliant Graven Ash. The disfavored have no equals in open battle. The Legion has a saying, Graven Ash protects, and it's no empty boast. The Archon of War is able to lend his will and strength to his soldiers to give them endurance beyond human limits. I have a great respect for the disfavored, and I know where I stand with them. They are a very close-knit band, and all of them from northern families, many of them related to each other. But considering our role in the great hierarchy, I can't fault General Ash for being selective. We speak again, so let us speak genuinely and at length. I've claimed the spire at Vendrian's Well. So the court's whispers are true. After a moment, he offers you wistful sort of. Someday I would like to witness for myself this tower that has risen above the realms as like a blade thrust in the sky. I would hear of your past victories in the war of recent events. Have you not yet tired of my tales, Grimsley? I do admit I never tire of telling them. Very well then, let me champion the feats of my conquest. Let the glory of Kyros reign. If you would come with, if but you could have come with me, my brother, on my latest mission to Haven. It was a rousing adventure, rife with bloodshed and intrigue. Inspired by the Vendrian Guard, House Ducenius had a change of heart regarding their loyalties to Overlord, so I felt rest on rumors that they have fled to Arden. Several days of hounding passed before I was able to locate and rend their bellies. By my blade, the blood that once ruled Haven ran red in her streets. Fatebinder Callio. Grimsley, I see you've returned to the fold. Your exploits in Vendrian's Well are a matter of some discussion. The Fatebinder of Balance regards you with discerning eye, and for a moment feel as if she's trying to peer into the very depths of your mind. What can I do for you? Callio touches a gentle hand to your soldiers. Has anything happened while I was away? There have been whispers that Karen grew disloyal to Graven Ash's command during the campaign in Azure. I took up the mantle of investigation near Plainsgate, and judging the rumors to be true, dispatched Karen by proclaiming Kyros' Edict of Stone. The very earth turned against the traitorous Archons, and the region split asunder in righteous judgment. You seem to know much of my actions. Have you been spying on me? Don't act so surprised. It's my duty to ensure that those who operate under the Judicator's name adhere to the spirit of the law. It's not to the very letter. Of course, I have nothing to hide. So you say, but I have to weigh all evidence presented with me for me with an objective. I assume you are being watched, Fatebinder, but don't concern yourself. There's more to citizen. How have you occupied your time? Tunon sends me on assignments here and there, and I settle disputes between the locals when the adjudicator is otherwise occupied. Everything from trade disagreements to pushing core squatters out of basements. Real rewarding work. She waves it off. The glory of war is not an honor reserved for the likes of us. We were the fish in Tunon, swimming in Tunon's wake, picking up the scraps along the way. We're rather large and composing. Tunon's Overlord's Fair. Blah, blah, blah. All this. I have some concerns about the war. You're free to share them in confidence. Our armies squabble at each other's throats. Divided, we cannot win. I'm less concerned about the armies than the Archons themselves. There can be no order in the when the mounts collect. Who would you see as champion? I think they're disfavored. There is wisdom behind your reasoning. Wars are won with cunning strategy and strength. The disfavored are imagined only in number on the battlefield. Consider the opposition. Ashen soldiers more than make up for the difference. And then who is this? This is Fatebinder Rogalis. Fatebinder, you return. You look as if you have some questions for me. Untangle, as I'm feeling generous. Nah, I'm good. I think I've asked enough questions of these people. Wait, is that Bitterquip? Yo, Bitterquip. He knows you stern and distant. Well, okay, Bitterquip. Fuck you. There's Tunon. That's our boss. Yo, what's good, Tunon?
This civil war, this feud, is an insult to Kyros' peace. It should not have taken the better part of a year to silence the last vestiges of the Oathbreakers.
I agree, Your Honor.
Our allies squabble while our enemies regroup.
I agree.
It falls upon the court to measure the extent of the damage and to execute the agents of disorder. I suspect that treachery, negligence, disunity, and greed have infected one or both of our esteemed allies. Until you are instructed otherwise, this matter is the court's primary focus.
I see.
Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat must be examined in close detail. You are charged with observing the Archons and presenting your case that one of them has wrought chaos and disorder upon the tiers.
I will make this my mission, Your
As
Honor.
always, you will be held accountable for what you do in the court's name. But you are free to conduct your investigation in the manner of your choosing. You must expect lies, misdirection, and manipulation. Suffer not such obstructions of justice. The disfavored seem the logical first step in your inquiry. The Legion holds you in some esteem, and Graven Ash has shown deference to the court in times past. No doubt the disfavored will be rife with accusations and evidence against the voices of Nerat. Graven Ash is a noble man, but never underestimate his capacity for deception. A wise general succeeds by knowing when to be unreadable to the enemy. You should, of course, speak with the Scarlet Chorus and gather their testimony. But it stands to reason that most in the chorus would sooner brag about a pauldron fashioned from your skull than entertain your questions. Do not regret killing the rabble that impede your investigation. They will be easily replaced.
I'll speak with the Archon of War.
Your fellow Fatebinders have been busy acting as my eyes and ears. I have a few leads for you to follow. You should, of course, speak with your brothers and sisters of the court if you need further counsel. The disfavored have made use of the Sage's network of dovecotes and messenger birds as they come under capture. I've heard multiple claims of strategic communications gone missing. The Sages are broken, their citadel in flames, but they were not slaughtered to the last. Some of their numbers still congregate around the smoking husk of their burning library. If they have been reading disfavored communications, learn what they learned, then execute them.
Of course.
The Oathbreakers were reported to be using iron armaments, more than they might acquire from looting what few disfavored they killed. Any iron in the tiers not rusted through was made by forge-bound hands in Lethian's Crossing. Between craftsman and quartermaster, someone let iron fall into enemy hands. There is a final matter to discuss. A sensitive topic.
What concerns the court, Your Honor?
In spite of the many shortcomings at Vendrian's Well, you managed to make a name for yourself. You proclaimed an Edict of Kyros, resolved its demanding conditions, and ascended the mountain spire.
Yes.
Any one of these feats would be worthy of recognition by the highest authority. You managed to accomplish 3.
I'm in a privileged position to accomplish incredible deeds. I was only doing my job, Your Honor.
Your sense of obligation to your role is admirable, but modesty will not recommend you to the task ahead. Whether by design or by accident, you have captured the attention of Kyros' army and the local tiersmen alike. This is no small opportunity, and the court charges you with exploiting your new standing to its fullest potential. You have a title in our hierarchy. However, it's a little-known secret that one's standing in the world is determined by their infamy, their deeds, and how they come to be known. Mind this notion as you bring justice to this lawless frontier. There may come a time when your deeds speak for you louder than any title. Whatever you did to capture the attention of the masses at Vendrian's Well, I would encourage you to do so again.
Understood. I'll be known as a champion of justice.
Good. It falls to us to set a new standard for these southern barbarians. You are dismissed. Should the court have need of your presence, you will receive word. Go forth and do my bidding, and bring glory and honor to the tiers in Kyros' name.
Tunon raps his gavel against the floor, the singular note resounding throughout the hall. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Thing. Okay, so we got 3 primary missions. Investigate the spires. Trial of Archons. All uncovered evidence will be listed here. This favorite attempted to bribe you to get iron weapons during the conquest. That is true. Evidence against the voices of Nerat. The Scarlet Course attempted to bribe you to get iron weapons during the conquest. During the conquest, the Scarlet Course desired the knowledge of captured sages into the Maelstrom. The disfavored general has regrouped his forces on the mountain at the mountain fortress of Ironhearth. Travel there to discuss the Archon of War's next move. Let us talk. We speak again. Okay, I think we're good. Is that Sevius? What up, Sevius? Anything beats a prolonged siege, eh, Fatebender? Enjoy the war while you can. Cool. Alright. Now let us go. Bleed and Mock. Blood and Mock. Ooh, they look cool. Welcome back, kid. Amusing as it would have been to watch the edict drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Blood and Mark, an Archon of Shadows, rouses from a faraway stare. Turning to face you with a wry smile, though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows that shroud him. Here you threw your rings on Graven Ash's side. Not a bad bet to pick the Archon of War. But tell me the truth. Did you go with Ash because it seemed like the right thing to do, or because supporting the voices was a worse option? Neither. Archon was at their best, but Graven Ash is the more capable. Our lives depended on military success. I was not about to hand control to the Archon of Secrets. Gave favor to Tunon and Blood and Mark. Don't trust the voices. Looks like you do have brains. All that matters is the edict of execution was stayed. Those stationed at Vendrian's Will should be thanking you for their lives. Now I assume you're off to go meet with Ash, but first I need to have a little chat. I'm listening. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that is? I'm the first Fatebinder to engage in a war against allied soldiers. I'm the first Fatebinder to proclaim 2 edicts. The first to resolve an edict before its consequences. First Fatebinder to awaken at a spire, to awaken a spire of the old walls. I'm the first person to take an evasive stance. Let me guess. I'm the first Fatebinder Kyros is decided to promote to position of authority. Not even close, Clid. You've mistaken Kyros for someone who knows and cares that you exist. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict. But you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that has slept for several centuries. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the danger you're in now that you put yourself on the map. Sticking with the disfavor is a smart idea, kid. At least smarter than getting mixed up with the Archon of Secrets. You'll never really be one of them if you value Ash's warriors. They'll serve you the best they can. Thanks for the advice. The Archon shrugs to you in Pharaoh, but his golden eyes are alive with the interest as he watches you. Peace. I like him. Can I get him as a companion? How about a little breathing room, kid? Okay. I just want you as a companion. Wow, this favorite really love me. Lantry! Yes, Lantry's starting to trust me more. Yay! Barrick, he started to trust me more too. Verse, yes. And I got enough fear with her that I was able to get Fury's Rage, which is a good thing. Ebb, Toretis' Embrace. What's her? Healing allies and harming enemies. Oh, that's actually really nice. Can I make Ebb into a healer? Actually, no, I'm gonna look this up. Can Ebb be a healer? Let's see. In Tyranny, can Ebb be a healer? Okay. Interesting. No, it seems like I cannot. Which sucks, because, damn. Oh well. Tunon. Yes, yes. We only have favor of Tunon, no wrath. Perfect. Tunon. Graven Ash. Super trusted of Graven Ash. Holy crap. Voice of Nora fucking hates us. Blood and Mark likes us. He thinks we're cool. He thinks we're cool. Nice. Alright. Alright, let's get out of this bitch. Bonk. Okay, let's go back up here. So we could start investigating the Sunset Spire now. Or we can go to Ironhearth. Let's go to Ironhearth. Armor can never reduce damage below 1. Ooh.
Will do.
Yo. Are they training? Interesting. Oh, Venus. Oh, Venus. Yo, what up? Akalos. Greetings, Fatebinder. Akalos 30, the second, Akalos, 32nd Legion. Glad to see Tunon's agent, Grace Ironheart. Ash's troops has no lack of order, but a servant of the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and a Scarlet Course lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I can spare a moment in conversation. Tell me about the Scarlet Course lieutenant. Seems our troop have this little maggot of a Scarlet Course lieutenant cornered over at Kaido village. From what I'm hearing, it's the same guy who's been ransacking our caravans for the past week. If I wasn't already handling something for Ash, I'd go and skin the filth myself. You being here simplifies matter. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. I will handle it. Good for you to pitch in. No more the loss of one more course. Rat. I have questions for Gore. What do you need? What were you doing during the conquest? Maybe you could say I've seen the tears from top to bottom. I dug latrines at our cabin at the Gates of Judgment. Then my promotion sent me to Lafane's Crossing. Got into a few rows with the Bronze Brotherhood. Not a pretty sight. Then I had a brief deployment in Apex. But the fighting was winding down around when I arrived. And after that, I did a tour of Stalwart, but got transferred out before the edict tore everything apart. Tell me about your home in the north. I hail from Balmywall, a small hamlet far west of Kyros' capital. It's nothing glorious, but I can trace 6 generations back there, so it's home. I hope to return there someday with a heap of tales and rings and renown. Once Graven Ash gives me his favor and recruited me to join the army, the family went from respectable farmers to elite folk. Better guarded or respected than damn near anyone. They must be doing well for themselves. How did you join the disfavored? Ahead of the conquest, Graven Ash sent recruiters to all outlying towns looking for worthy talent. The village held a 30 and melee to demonstrate our local muscle. Nothing fancy, mind you. It was mostly fighting on hay bales with wooden spears. I had the distinction of toppling even the biggest contender. A familiar tale, and one after my own heart. Beric nods with respect. It's a good thing I succeeded. I'm more useful to Kyros on the battlefield than on the wheat. Alright, cool. Ooh. Yoink. And yoink.
Interesting.
Oh, Fonsa and Halfway's dead. His face soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Course fighter. Consider it? Not for a second. We pick our soldiers from elite northern families. We don't recruit flies buzzing over a mass grave. Are the disfavored so narrow-minded? My gang's strength delivered us across half a dozen battles with a line of fallen enemies in our wake. Not many conscripts can say the same. The question is not a matter of your skill, but of your breeding, your training, your pedigree. Noticing you, the Iron Guard salutes. Hail, Graven Ash Fatebinder. Hail, Graven Ash Fatebinder. If I might take a moment of time. What's up? This person comes representing a Scarlet Course gang. What did you call yourselves again? The Grinning Bleeders. We have a long and storied reputation in this Scarlet Course ranks. Killers of the highest order, my gang. Before I was boss here, I ran with the Broken Shits, the Salty Nightmares, the Trap Gang. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war. You made at least 2 of those gangs, and don't even bother denying it. Just be careful what names you toss around when there's a former boss standing within earshot, you little pissant. Very so kind of you to chime in with your corrections. In any case, he's asking to join the disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained numerous reasons why we can't allow, but the rest won't listen. Is that accurate? It is. We're not looking for special treatment, just a new beginning. Seeing as we're healthy, fit, and combat ready, the Ironclad should have no reason to refuse us, especially since they're low on numbers. That may be true, but it's no excuse to pollute our respectable ranks with your company. We're more than capable. Put any weapon in our hands, or send us on any suicide mission. It'll be mercy compared to what we faced under the voices of Narat. That much is true, at least. There's something to be said for a general who isn't going to gut you in your sleep because it suits his flair for the artistic. Those are the first fair words I've heard you speak about General Ash. Perhaps you're coming around. Then you can count on them being the last, you overfull midden pile. If we joined up with the disfavored, wouldn't... If we joined up, the disfavored wouldn't have to compromise their staunch northern morals. We would take the bloody work off their hands. Do you want me to decide on the matter? You must know Kyros' laws back to front. I trust you know our traditions as well. If it peels this lamprey off my backside, I'll allow it. Speaking for my gang, we'll accept your judgment. We're eager to crack some Tearsman skulls of Kyros' army again, no matter what color they wear. Let me take your testimony first. Of course, I have nothing to that. Why can't the recruits join the disfavored? Most of us would rather swallow our tongues than take orders from some rigid officer who talked his way into leadership, but to each their own. Where do I start? Not only does Graven Ash handpick his disfavored from the decorated northern stock, he takes a personal interest in our training and education. We are his sons and daughters. To accept anything less in our ranks would hold the very process in contempt. The only capacity they could serve would be manual labor, hauling wagons or digging latrines, but that's the work of slaves, and not what they're requesting. Why this interest in the disfavored? Better training, better quarters, iron weapons. The disfavored have everything we wanted out of joining the military. We want to serve Kyros to the best of our abilities. Is that asking too much? Old Ironclad here seems to think so. Their respect for command leaves something to be desired. Why did you leave the Scarlet Course? Our old gang boss fell at the last battle of Vendrian's Well. We saw how the disfavored operated and realized there was a chance for a better life, a longer one too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Course. I can tell you that we won't be missed. He says that like he's boasting. Only the shitheel recruits who never make a name for themselves are overlooked at muster. What is my help worth to you? We're playing that game, are we? I managed to pocket a few handfuls of rings. Fair trade for starting a new life. Stealing from the boss is a good way to find yourself at the end of a pike. Be prepared to change your name before the end of the war. Yeah, you can train with this favorite, but I can't allow you to join. I gain a little bit of wrath. What abomination of law is this? That'll do. We had an idea this would be the most we can get if we keep training and show up a few battles. Maybe the Legion will take. Time will tell. Good luck. Look. Now I know that's probably not what they wanted, but hear me out. I don't give a fuck. I need money. Ovinus and Foxtrot. Kind of you to stop and chat. I'm in a sticky situation. None of my gang is alive around to help me. Stop wasting the Fatebinder's time. He has better things to do than criminals' mewings. I'll be there to that. Tell me your problem, soldier. Thanks for hearing me out. The disfavored aren't keen on conversation, otherwise I wouldn't be here. It's impossible to get a word in edgewise. Soldiers caught me outside a breach in the old walls. That's it. I wasn't inside. I hadn't stuck my toe through the threshold. I wasn't dancing with any bane. I have a healthy relationship with my self-preservation. Then why are you arrested? You're only hearing one side of the story, Fatebinder. Our scouts observed this wretch readying to enter the old walls. Her account is flawed. Her guilt is witnessed by multiple trustworthy northerners. I'm sorry, is readying to enter the best you have? Because I could just easily argue that you're readying to get knifed between your soldier blades, but that doesn't count for shit until I see blood and bronze. I didn't go into the old walls. Case go. I need your mutual cooperation. If you ask me, this prisoner has already been tried and sentenced, but if this little game of silence or caterwauling, then be my guest. I'll stand by your decision. You couldn't land me anywhere worse than this. What were you doing outside of the old walls? My gang went inside as I tried to tell the disfavored clouds 100 times over. I shouted myself raw to get them back out, but the gang was having none of it. Our leader discovered the breach and got himself excited over the chance of finding treasure. Try as I might, I couldn't talk him out of it. Soldier, can you speak to this defense? I wasn't there, of course, but I'm familiar with the rest record. There was no gang, just a lone opportunist out to make her fortune breaking Kyros' laws. The scouts could tell just by looking at her that she was headed for the breach. She's a fiery one. Put up quite a fight when they took her in custody. I've no doubt. So you had no interest in entering the walls? Never. I grew up in the tiers. Even we knew better than to go inside the old walls. If not because of Kyros' law, because the things lurking inside were like to eat us. Whatever you find in the shadow of those rooms not worth risk. What was your gang doing in the old walls? causing trouble, looting, no more than less than what gangs do. Our boss was obsessed with holding his position, which is healthy when you're in the Scarlet Course. When he came to the conclusion that the old walls might have some powerful artifacts, he resolved himself to find that at all costs. Funny to see a guy wrapped up in survival trying to get himself killed. Typical behavior from someone who isn't confident in their leadership makes for a nice self-fulfilling prophecy when their own gang takes them down. See, she understands. Any idea where your gang is and where it is now? I never saw them make it out the old walls, so either they did or they didn't. My money's on the latter. If they made it out, they aren't wasting their breath trying to find me, so fuck them. I like the attitude. If I had a mind to recruit, she would be my second or third. What's a favorable ruling worth to you? Did your gangs cause the breach in the old walls? What? Are you kidding me? It would never take it would take either incredible force or incredible magic to pass through the ancient barrier. We had neither. It's either one of Kyros' edicts or some local mage caused the breach. Whatever ruling you make, don't pin that on me. I'm inclined to agree, but don't make the mistake of agreeing too much. I'm ready to my judgment. I don't trust your testimony. I find you guilty. If you weren't in the old walls, you weren't in the old walls. I rule in your favor. At the very least, the evidence is insufficient to prove charges. You're free to go. I don't trust her. Is this a fucking joke? Because I'm not laughing. Whether guilty of this or some other atrocity makes no difference. She belongs in chains. I'll just bet you're trying to curry favor with this favorite. I'm sitting in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, I'm no one's bargaining chip. Do you hear me? Kyros, his knuckles. You babble loud enough to topple Spire. Fatebinder, thank you for your time. Yoink. Ooh, what's that? Oh, is that just so where we can sleep? Oh, we can rest. Oh, okay, cool. The Scarlet Course are undesirable mob.
Curious.
Ooh, yoink. Osmia. You must be the Fatebinder of Tunon to this favorite. Iron Walker bows. Welcome to Ironhearth. I'm sure that Graven Ash appreciates any help you can offer. Circumstances away coming together so this favorite are stretched thinner than we would like. Why are this favorite so overworked? I'm trying to soldier the brunt of this civil war without the strength of numbers. Scarlet Course can throw 1,000 disposable bodies at an issue without a second thought, but we're forced to be a little more discriminating. We might be trained to deal with the stress of combat and all-night drills, but we're fatigued even by the high standard we set ourselves. Not that I need to burden an agent of the court with my misgivings. Once the war is over and the tears are properly subdued, my hope is that Kyros dispatches some relief troops to support the occupation. We all deserve a season of rest. The court is always receptive to needs of soldiers. Your point is noted. That's very generously civic. I'm grateful to know that someone's listening. Where were you during the conquest? After the Edict of Storms hit, I spent some time among the ruins of Stalwart, digging out survivors from the Legion. Afraid I didn't find much. You must have moved on by then, or else we would have assembled a team to excavate you. My prison moved with me. There was no reason to tarry. I still think about the brothers and sisters we left behind. Sometimes I can't imagine. Yes. Ooh. There's a puppy. Dog looks up and whimpers. Even though you're not a fully fledged disfavored recruit, I've been authorized to grant you purchasing rights from our store, within certain limits, of course. Well, what are those limits? It's nothing personal issue. Your Graven Ash wants us to control our supplies without restricting access to his army supporters like yourself. The finest arms and freshest provisions are preserved. His direct command, I'm sure they're... Alright, understood. Let's see what you can offer me. Let us sell stuff first. Let us sell that. We'll keep that. Let's sell that. Let's sell that. Let's sell that. Let's sell that. That. Let's sell that and that and that. Let's sell the garnets. Agates. Gates. Let's also... sell that. Boom. Binding Oath. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. I can't afford any of this. No. I want that. I mean, I can. I actually no wait. I could afford that. Yeah, because I have 68 brilliant trees. Let's just see what we have. Okay, stool, stone, cloth boots, earth shaker gloves, earth shaker, oathbound armor. What armor do I have right now? I have crescent runner armor. Oh, that's better. That's way better actually. The iron guard armor. Oathbound lieutenant leathers. Ooh. You know, let's get that. I'm gonna sell that. We'll get that, and I'll sell those boots. And then, I guess with him, how's the Earthshaker robes? Magician's Mask was good for him. Earthshaker gloves. Ooh, better than that. So we'll that, and we'll sell the Scholar gloves. And heavy cloth boots. We'll get that. Sell the Scholar boots. Ooh. And then for you, my friend, you have a stone tower shield. Let's see what's. Ooh, that would be really good though, actually. Get that, and we'll just sell him. Yeah. And let's also, you know what, let's also sell this scroll. We don't need that scroll. We'll sell some of these potions. Actually, what potion was that? That was... Yeah, I don't care about that. Keep the healing potion, lesser healing potion. Let's get rid of the potion protection. Fuck that one. We'll keep that. Let's sell the fish. Let's sell the rot spears. Bow toxin. Potion invisibility. And the blood moss. Yeah. And for her, what's good? It's not as good. Ooh. We'll get blinding off. We'll sell that. Okay, so we can't get blinding off. We could also sell the staff of Boreal Force. And yeah, I think that's good. Thank you. I'm naked. This is the oakbound lieutenant. Yep. Yep. And then where's the boots? Oakbound boots. Boom. Oh yeah, look at us. Sexy as fuck. Look, see? Beautiful, gorgeous. Let's hide the helmet for now. Let's see our beautiful face. Lad, you. Boom. And then we'll put the shield. Oh, yeah. And then Lantry. we're gonna give you these gloves and these boots. Yeah. Then you can have. Yep. Alright, I think we're good. Yoink. Alright. Now let us go. Yeah. Alright. We're gonna save. Oh! Oh, big stretch. Alright. And this is where we're gonna end stream. This is where we shall end stream. I had fun. I hope you have fun. I hope everyone had a good night, and I hope you have a good night. Good night, everyone. Sleep well.